equal. Be even as pilgrims upon the earth.
Right, so the battle has already begun. You see the Lord's army already raised up and ready to go. We got our battle weapon right here. That's all we need. But the second part of it is, look, when Jacob's trouble actually hits, don't look to be confined in one spot. This ain't no movie where you just turn off all the lights, you lock the bathroom door, and then you run to the nearest or the farthest bedroom. No. And then you hide in the closet. That's not how it works. You hide in your closet, next thing you know, a tank rolls through and blows up your entire house. You think you good, because you hide. Hell nah. You gonna close that closet, and next thing you gonna open your eyes and be in the spirit world. That's what's gonna happen to your butt. Nah, be a pilgrim. Be on the move. What do the scriptures say? We walk by faith and not by sight. Ain't nobody worried about where we gonna go. The Lord got you. What you worried about? It can go down anywhere. I say it all the time. You could be at the movies with your girl, at a restaurant with your friend. You could be at work. Maybe you at school. I don't know. But then all of a sudden, look, that one catastrophic event can go down. Next thing you know, Jacob's trouble is fully here. Be a pilgrim. Be on the move. That's what that's talking about. So spiritually, and it's also physically. Keep going. Now it's going to get into the mindset that we need to have in this country, knowing that all these things will happen.
Isaiah 55:6. Seek ye the Lord while he may be found. Call ye upon him while he is near.
Yeah, that's it. Seek ye the Lord while he may be found, because those doors of mercy are quickly closing, quickly shutting. And you don't want that to happen. It's going to be a scary sight when the Lord isn't as readily accessible anymore. It ain't many of them. Look how many brothers are doing the work just in Maryland. It ain't a lot. Matter of fact, look up the population in Maryland.
Like 6 million.
6 million?
Yeah, it's the spirit you asked that. Last night I was just looking at some off-grid shit, you know.
That's crazy.
They were doing I was watching videos on the worst states to live off-grid in, and Maryland's one of them. Cuz the tax is so fucking high, and then like they kept the crime rate per capita is so damn high. The property tax is high. Everything's taxed, you know. Remember back in the 90s, this shit was like 7%. They lowered it to 6%, if I'm not mistaken. I was like, damn, man, do I really want to commute from Delaware every week? I was like, nah, the Most High got us set up here, you know. Because Delaware ain't no taxes, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, Maryland sucks, bro. Yeah, Virginia's not any better. And DC, well, you see what the license plate in DC say, you know. Taxation without representation, so fuck this place, bro. Like 6 million, about 6 million people.
It's a bad state. That's all we need salvation. Nothing but captivity. That's all it is. But you got about 6 million, give or take a little, here in this one state. Now, how many people you come to in this state that actually know at any time? Like, how many people actually possess that?
But the only thing that
Oh, what's that?
crazy ass. Yeah, kill you, smoke you for the wintertime.
Because in these end days, when the doors of mercy are going to be really, really shut, like only an inch open, yeah, you're still going to be able to get the word, but listen, it's going to be word of mouth. And it ain't going to be that many people that can give you the true understanding. Meanwhile, right now, you could be anywhere in the world, and you can get the true understanding of the internet. You can open up your laptop. Matter of fact, you can go on your phone right now. Open up the app, type in anything. You can hear the word. It's readily accessible. But you got like what? How many of us in this camp? Maybe 30 around there? I'll just say 30, 25, 30. Versus 6 million people in the entire state of America. Plus the lovely brothers over there down in Baltimore, two camps over there. That's it. I'm gonna just say, look, top 50. That's it. You got a lot of people wasting their time.
Amos 5:13. Therefore the prudent shall keep silence in that time, for it is an evil time.
Because why? You really think Man, what do they say in the world? Stranger danger? Listen, in that day to come, Jacob's trouble hit, I don't know your ass. Don't run up to me and talk to me. You're probably gonna be looking crazy, stinking, right? I'm gonna tell you leave and brush your hair, brush your teeth.
Figure it out.
You know, yeah. Don't come to me now. I was out here every Saturday. We was out here every Saturday. But if the Lord has you for that, to say something to you, well, guess what? Lucky you. You must have a special place in the Lord's heart. But you don't want to wait. Right, it's also coming down like your brother said to be a part of the elect anyway. But why would you risk it? Why would you lower your probability of salvation? That's how I think. Think in terms of stats. I want that higher chance, less risk, bigger chance of salvation, which means I'm going to come into this ministry early, get the understanding, build up my faith while I can. Not when shit is already hitting the fan and you have a few seconds to just get right. You're not going to be able to flip the switch or turn on your faith like it's a light switch. It's not going to work like that. Jump over to, I got something else.
Isaiah 29 and 11, it says, and the vision of all is become unto you as the words of a book that is sealed, which men deliver to one that is learned, saying, read this, I pray thee. And he saith, I cannot, for it is sealed. And the book is delivered to him that is not learned, saying, read this, I pray thee. And he saith, I am not learned.
See? That's going to be really played out a lot in these 10 days to come. People just running to anybody with a beard, anybody that looks like, oh, he's black, that's a black man, he has a beard, he looks rough. But listen, everybody gonna have beards in these end days, whether you shave it or not, whether you cut it, like I said, even a woman, you may run to the wrong gender, thinking you know who you're talking to. Hell no, right? But that's gonna happen. But you don't want that to be you. Now, that's why we bring these things out. We may bring it out in the reference of the 2/3, but we say that so that you understand I don't want to be in that position. That's why we talk about it from that perspective. So you can say, you're supposed to be a visionary. Like the Prophet Gabar said. He says, damn, if that's going to happen to the 2/3, I don't want that to happen to me. So what do I need to do to make sure that I'm in the opposite place from that person? Well, shit, do the opposite of what they're doing. That's as easy as it is. Following out a multitude to do evil. You got a precept before we go back?
2 Ezra 5 and 1. Nevertheless, as concerning the tokens, behold, the day shall come that they which dwell upon the earth shall be taken in a great number, and the way of truth shall be hidden, and the land shall be barren of faith.
Right, so the Bible just said that there's going to be a lot of death in America. That's what's going to happen. A lot of people are going to be taken, it says, in a great number, a big number. Meanwhile, you have the prophets telling you directly about the Bible and how to receive salvation. But that loud on purpose, the Jacob's got marked. That's all that's happening in these 10 days. There's nothing but folly. That's why he looked back. You know his spirit is condemned.
Yeah. He was backwards. His pants was going backwards. I was telling the brother that represents his mindset.
God damn.
Yeah.
How you wake up and just do some shit?
That's what the Bible says anyway. You think that our words are harsh. The Bible calls our people brute beasts. And a beast has no knowledge. No understanding. My man had his pants on back. He said like crisscross, you know? I guarantee you probably don't even know that. He probably, I bet he put it on and he stopped at his middle of the thigh. I don't even know from that.
No, that was it. Yeah. Isaiah 29 and 12. The book is delivered to him that is not learned, saying, read this, I pray thee. And he saith, I am not learned. Wherefore the Lord said, for as much as this people draw near me with their mouth, and with their lips do honor me, but have removed their heart far from me. For the fear of me, and their fear toward me is taught by the precept of men.
Especially if we were to ask those two Jakes, do you believe in God? I bet you one of them, at least the dude that looked back and said yes. Guaranteed. Guarantee that, because the Bible talks about how our people, you know, they're somewhat spiritual. They know that there's a higher power. It's just that, yeah, they have to do, right? They just don't want to be obedient. That's all it's coming down to. They don't want to just obey. It's subject to that higher power. Like they recognize that higher power, but they just don't want to say, hey, let me listen, follow all the laws, and do everything that power commands me to do. That's all it's coming down to. But watch, in the end days, Jake always want to seek God when something goes wrong. That's all it is. You in your hospital bed, oh Lord, save me, deliver me. That's always what it is. Oh, now you want to pray.
Yeah, they're not calling on the ancestors on their deathbed.
Nah.
They're calling on who they was, that church that they went into every day when they was younger.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. All of it. Every single time. The Lord to these people is nothing but an extinguisher. They just use it
Right.
when they need it. That's it. But they don't understand that we need the Lord 24/7. We need the Lord, I was going to say that, 25/8, every single day. You're not supposed to just seek the Lord when things are good. You seek Him over things that are bad. You also seek Him when things are good. You telling me when things are good, it ain't nothing to pray for still? You can't still give thanks to the Lord for that good time? But our people don't think about it.
Hosea 5:15, and it says, I will go and return to my place till they acknowledge their offense and seek my face. In their affliction they will seek me early.
Right, and that's only happening right now for the elect. The elect are the only ones seeking the Lord. And even when it's coming down to you being a part of that elect number or not, 100% guaranteed you're going to have 2/3 out here calling on the name of the Lord, but He's not going to hear them in the time that they can trouble. It's going to be too late. The Lord ain't going to be worried about it. Now you want to call on my name. He's going to be up there laughing on his throne.
Right.
Looking down at your monkey ass. Laughing. Right, pants on backwards. He ain't going to be hitting the wall with his construction. Guaranteed that.
Matthew 7:21, not everyone that saith unto me, Lord, Lord, shall enter into the kingdom of heaven, but he that doeth the will of my Father which is in heaven.
Well, that's not a lot of people. Not a lot of people actually doing the will of Yahweh by Shimmy outside, because the thing is, they're not told what the will of the Lord is. Now, I'll give you a great example. You got that parable, metaphor in the New Testament, where, matter of fact, grab that. Where it talks about how the Lord went away and He told His servant to occupy. That's the word occupy. And that's the phrase that they mess up a lot. People find that. And I'll just tell you why y'all find it. So they use that phrase, occupy. Okay, perfect. Let me not jump the gun there. No, you perfect. It's good timing. Because we're supposed to be doing the will of Yahweh by Hashem Yahweh Shai. That's a specific thing. He gave us real specific direction. You don't think a Lord is going to tell you exactly what He wants you to do until He returns, until He comes back? You're not supposed to be just sitting there, literally dabbling, like Elder Yashimama said, swinging on the ceilings and shit. No. Something very specific task that He gave us to do. That's why some people are going to be saved, because they're performing that task. Read that for me.
Yep, Luke 19:13, it says, and he called his 10 servants and delivered them 10 pounds and said unto them, occupy till I come.
Matter of fact, you should read up 2 verses. That's it.
Yeah. Luke 19:12, and he said, therefore a certain nobleman went into a far country to receive for himself a kingdom and to return. And he called his 10 servants and delivered them 10 pounds and said unto them,
right, so that nobleman represents Yahweh Shai. And is he not afar off right now? He even said it himself. He said, I go to prepare a place for you. Well, he's that nobleman right now.
It says, occupy till I come.
Wait. You read up 2 verses?
19 and 11. And as they heard these things, he added and spake a parable, because he was nigh to Jerusalem. And because they thought that the kingdom of the Most High should immediately appear, he said therefore, a certain nobleman went into a far country to receive for himself a kingdom and to return. And he called his 10 servants and delivered them 10 pounds and said unto them, Occupy till I come.
Okay, cool. So that's perfect. So the point is made. The nobleman left. He left what is called money, currency, to his servants, and he said, Occupy until I come.
Shalom,
Now you have the
Shalom.
Christian church, and what they say is that phrase "occupy till I come." They break it down and say, "Oh, well, while the Lord is returning, while He is afar off building that kingdom for us, you're supposed to go to college. You're supposed to graduate and get your degree. You're supposed to build and get a wife. You're supposed to get a family and get that nice single-family house, have that white picket fence. You're supposed to get that 401k and do your best to retire and have a nice retirement savings and everything." That's what they take that verse to mean. Oh, you just occupy, meaning be busy, stay productive. That's what the Lord returns. No, that's not what that's saying. Look at that word occupy. When you look at that word occupy, it goes into what you're supposed to be doing. And it even gave you a hint in that same verse. It said he gave them some money. And then he told them, occupy till I come. Because if you're a servant, you have a task to do in that house. You got to keep things in order. You're not just sitting around playing Xbox. You playing Madden all day. The servant came back. What'd you do? And you're like, oh shit, I play some games. No.
Yeah, house all dusty, you know.
Stink.
Yeah, dishes piled up.
Exactly. Toilet all dirty and shit. No. What's that word, bro?
Yeah, so when you go into the word occupy, obviously it's going to give you a few definitions. You know how Hebrew. But when you go into that word occupy, I'm not going to try to pronounce it in Greek, but it says, the first definition it gives you to be occupied anything. To carry, and then here's the better part of it. It says, to carry on a business, to carry on the business of a banker or a trader.
That's what it is, because they were occupying merchandise, what they were given. What they're doing is you're supposed to be taking it and multiplying it. That's what you're doing. Yeah, go ahead.
It says, Luke, same verse, Luke 19 and 13 in the NLT. Before he left, he called together 10 of his servants and divided among them 10 pounds of silver, saying, invest this for me while I am gone.
Right, so the word there in the NLT is not occupy anymore, it's the word invest. Yeah. That's how you study. What you do is you look at that word. That's what I do. Whenever I'm studying, I'm like really trying to go hard or something. I always look up the word that I'm confused about. I read it in at least 2 different versions, and then I'll read at least 2 different summaries from what is it called? From these people breaking it down. Like you go in there, say it again. Did a commentary, 2 different commentaries. And I like going to that dude, Matthew something. Matthew Henry. I go to him, David Fawcett or whatever, David Brown. I read both of those. I like theirs. They highlight it, they give a little detail. It's good. So that's how you get the understanding. You're supposed to study, dive deep into it. So it's going into investing. Now, what are we supposed to be investing? What were we given? This knowledge, wisdom, and understanding. So the Proverbs, that's 3, like around 15, 18, something like that. 3 verse 15.
Yeah, you got. I was gonna say you got a lot of people that just blowing their investment. You know, they get this great amount of money, which is the scriptures, and then they just blow it all away. Usually, when you get a lump sum of money, you try to make interest on it, and then if you're gonna spend money, you spend the money that you made off the interest, not the lump sum that you got. You know, so you're not blowing your money that you got. You know, what do they call it? The premium. You want to use that money.
Proverbs 3:15, she is more precious than rubies, and all the things. Proverbs 3 and 14, for the merchandise of it is happy is the man that findeth wisdom, and the man that getteth understanding. For the merchandise of it is better than the merchandise of silver, and the gain thereof than fine gold.
See, the gain thereof. And you occupied and you doubled. You just compounded that money that you had. Like they say in the world, it takes money to make money. You don't get the money, but all of a sudden lose it and try to make some more. Nah, if you got some money, you invest it, and you continue to compound and you multiply. Now you got more to play with.
First Maccabees 2 and 24.
You grab this wisdom, now once you have a little bit of wisdom, you're able to build upon that foundation. But what happens if you don't use that wisdom? It goes away. And the Lord can give it to somebody else. Now you know how hard it's going to be to get that wisdom back? You better hope the Lord really has some sure mercy to David on you. Because you may not get that back. You see, so like the metaphor was in the book of Luke, where we're supposed to be occupying that talent
2 and 20 to 24.
So we're supposed to take it and occupy. Meaning we're supposed to be doing the Lord's work and spreading that knowledge, spreading that wisdom. That's what that's talking about right there. Meanwhile, you have a lot of people in this world, they use that to say that, oh, we're just supposed to go to college, get a degree. Nah, we're going to be a busybody. Listen, we're still in the land of our captivity. How you going to be a busybody when you in Babylon is great? Did y'all forget that we were brought over here and chained in shackles?
25.
We were lined up under each other. And people were throwing up, and the vomit was spilling down onto other jakes. That's how we came over here. And we're still in that same exact land of our captivity. You had something there?
Yeah, I had 1 Timothy 4 and 13. It says, till I come, give attendance to reading, to exhortation, to doctrine. Neglect not the gift that is in thee, which was given thee by prophecy.
Yeah. That's perfect, actually. Because it gave us specific instructions that we're supposed to be doing. So neglect not that gift that was given to you. You have this knowledge, you have this understanding. You're supposed to be guided deep into it, and into this word. And you occupy. If you learn, listen, make a video. Start making some videos. Talk about the basics. If the Spirit is in you, come out. When you come out here, that's you really, now you're really from occupying. Now you're gaining more knowledge and wisdom. And like the Ashman and God said, a lot of people are just wasting their investment. The Lord gave us the most valuable thing on this planet Earth. That's His knowledge. People are coming around it, they're throwing it away. And then they just found some dust under their couch.
2 Maccabees 2:25, and it says, we have been careful that they that will read may have delight, and that they that are desirous to commit to memory might have ease.
Yeah, I think when you look at that word careful, the etymology, I think it goes into like just really paying attention. Yeah, so when you're paying attention or when you're careful, it says that they may have ease, right? Or delight. I'll read that one sentence again.
It says, we have been careful that they that will read may have delight.
They may have delight. They pay close attention to all so that we may be able to reason and have delight, meaning we're joyful in the things that we're understanding. It's made easy for us, right?
Yep. And that they that are desirous to commit to memory might have ease, and that all whose hands it comes might have profit.
Right, so they occupied when they wrote that, they wrote this. They said, you know what, we got to go hard right now to spread this knowledge. And how they do that? By making it easy, bridging the Bible for us. They gave us verses, the Lord put the Spirit on them. They give us chapters, verses. That was kind of a huge, long scroll, one big paragraph. And you're just trying to find, oh man, where was it? Oh, now we can see it's Luke, right? So they occupied it, made it easier for us. Now all we're doing is we're doubling that investment that was handed down to us by our forefathers. Ain't that what you do with an investment? You're trying to build it up so that you have a foundation to leave to your children. And then they do the same exact thing. They're supposed to double that investment. Even down to your grandchildren. their children. So now you have the prophets in these days doing the same exact thing. All we're doing is abridging the Bible for you. What we're doing is verbally. You have these different metaphors, analogies in here. You got the sharp arrow. What is that? It's a missile. Making it plain upon tables. So now this entire world has no excuse. Go ahead now, Mark.
The word came to mind when you talked about that. Not being idle, you're responsible for something. And the word steward came up, or stewardship. And it says the office, duties, and obligations of a steward. It says the conducting, supervising, or managing of something, especially the careful and responsible management of something entrusted.
It's very important that you can have that servant. Another word could really be steward. Like I use a J-Gas example, but Jeffrey, everybody knows Jeffrey from Fresh Prince. That's all he was the steward of the house. When he left, when our Uncle Phil left and he came back, we expected the house to be neat and clean. We expected Nigga to be ready. I know he would come out, dinner is served. Right? It was a Jeffrey-ass thing to say all the time. Uncle Phil, they all expected it. That's all that is. And now we're servants of our Lord, Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shah. And we have a specific duty to pass this knowledge. We'll grab that. Wow, Ephesians 3:17. I should know it says it all the time. That's our duty right there. That's what the Lord wants us to do, because the Lord could just have it to where this knowledge was just a blink of an eye and it was all of a sudden snapped into everybody's brain. But he has a specific process laid out to where, you know what I want to happen is I want certain men to hear it. I want them to go out there and preach on their specific days that they go. And gradually over time, I'm going to have the elect go by and hear it, or go on YouTube, hear it, and they're going to be marked for salvation. That's the process that the Heavenly Father Yahweh laid out. That's how things are going to go right now. So then you have his servants just doing his will. So we can't do anything else. Just like my man Jonah. My man Jonah was supposed to prophesy in Nineveh. He tried to flee. He said, nah, Lord, I ain't doing that. And then what happened? That's when he understood, like, can't try to be
Ephesians 3:19. And to know the love of Yahushua, which passeth knowledge, that ye might be filled with all the fullness of the Most High.
Right, so you pass this knowledge, meaning you're occupying. You're multiplying this knowledge. You're pushing it out there, and now a few things are happening. The blood of these people are off of our hands, and at the same time, you're also building up and ensuring your own salvation. That's why the scriptures say, work out your own salvation with what? Fear and trembling. This is the part of the Spirit of the Lord right now. Coming out and doing his work, unless your leg will be amputated. He can F you up. Okay, I gave you 2 legs to get out there and do my work. You don't want it? You don't want to use that strength I gave you? You can take it away. Anything can happen. That's just one example.
That's what he told Amos, I'm gonna make your wife a harlot in the streets and I'm gonna kill your kids.
Yeah, see? So are we not supposed to feel that power?
Amos 7:14.
Go ahead, you had something on that one?
Yeah, this is Romans 12:1. It says, I beseech you, therefore, brethren,
Yep.
by the mercies of the Most High, that ye represent your bodies a living sacrifice, holy, acceptable unto the Most High, which is your reasonable service.
Yep, and the brother put emphasis on that word, reasonable. Those are like going into it logically. That's how logical services can happen. It's a blessing. The Lord told us, look, every Saturday, and some days, Fridays, whatever, and then some days throughout the week, I want you to go out there and just teach. Teach my words that I'm going to give you. If you do that, and if you're consistent, and if you endure to the end, I'm going to grant you everlasting life. Is that not an amazing strength? Is that not something to fight for? Then on top of that, look, I'm going to grant you everlasting life. I'm going to give you power, and I'm going to make you one of the 144,000 wonders in the entire universe. God, hey, you know, you want to get good now? You gonna give me that knowledge? Come on. It's a no-brainer for me, my boy. Right, man. All I gotta do is pray for more knowledge and pray for more wisdom. You just gonna give me everything? Imagine if the Lord said, you know, in the Bible it read, thus only the more you read, you know, and you have to get more knowledge by yourself. You know, something like that.
Yeah, figure it out on your own.
Basically, exactly. Thus the man that figures it out before he sees salvation. I'd be like, damn, bro. My God. That kind of sucks. That makes me appreciate the fact that something called predestination. Lord, we already got it laid out. Like, we're already winning. Certain people are already going to win this battle. Knowing the fact that he gave you this knowledge and understanding, all we got to do is pray for more of it. And then it's going to be different. Go ahead and grab that proof.
Sirach 6:37. Let thy mind be upon the ordinances of the Lord, and meditate continually in his commandments. He shall establish thy heart and give thee wisdom at thine own desire.
Right. So who would do that? It said he means the whole about God shall do what? Establish your heart. And then it's furthermore it says give you wisdom at your own desire. You see your wisdom. It's how to cook the catfish a little bit better these people. That's all it is. You have to scam more jakes. That's all it is. Or how much drugs they can sell. That's it. That's all a lot of people want to do. See, wisdom doesn't look like it. It's not going to look like it's a valuable thing until they're in trouble. But you're supposed to see the value in the stock before it rises, not when it's already at $300+. You're supposed to want to jump into Amazon when it's 50 cents. That's $1, $2 stock, and you jumping into Amazon. Come on, you're about to be rich out your wildest imagination. But the value of the Bible, you got to see it's already up there. It's rising steadily. But it's still low. It's still at a good place where you can jump in and get a good investment out of it. When that stock rises, it's going to be all over. You ain't going to have enough skills in the world to buy your food.
Ain't gonna be no more money exchanges.
Exactly.
We ain't gonna be out here to help you out.
Yeah.
You know?
I could be out here to help you invest in it. Right now, it's a huge investment going on. All the brothers gathered together. Now look, man, this is what you want to do. Put some money here, money there, this, and that. It's a big business. The Lord's business is being going through transactions right now. There's going to be less transactions real soon. Why? We're supposed to be diving in and grabbing more now. And you can do that. It's the righteous thing to do. Ask the Lord for more wisdom. Ask him for more knowledge. Ask him for more faith.
Yeah, you don't get penalties for withdrawals. Certain savings accounts, you get they'll throw penalties on there. You're trying to take money out of it.
Well, that's how you compound. Once you make a little bit of money, now you have to withdraw and do something with it. So, like you got certain stocks that pay out dividends. The dividend is paid out like, I guess, every quarter. So every 3 months you get a little bit of money. Smart people, they take that dividend and they just reinvest it again. That's it. That's how I got my car.
This is James chapter 1, verse 5. It says, if any of you lack wisdom, let him ask of the Most High, that giveth to all men liberally, and upbraideth not, and it shall be given him.
Yeah, it shall be given. Upbraideth not, and it shall be given. That's all it is. And even the apostles, or I think they were disciples at that time. No, they were apostles. I think it's in the book of Acts. It says that they asked the Lord to increase their faith. So what's that word? Yahweh.
Okay. Yep.
Double the sound, Lord. Yahweh. Then what's the word faith?
I'm a one.
Oh, what's up?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
That's it. Take those 2 words and then fix your prayer. Oh, prayer gotta do a long thing. You literally can do like 3 folks. That's it. You know how strong the Hebrew
You could just say Babaku Shah.
Right.
Because the Lord knows what you're asking for already. Yeah. You just say Babaku Shah and then say the rest in English if you have to, you know.
Lord, He gonna add to whatever you ask Him. More knowledge, more wisdom. Don't be asking dumb shit like for a Ferrari. Don't do that. Lord, if you see that you're not genuine, you ask for things that you don't need now. That's not to say if you need a car, yeah, ask for a car. The Lord knows if you need it or not. He gonna give you what you need. But the point is, don't be asking for unfruitful things. Ask about the mind, why mouth, and sincerity and truth. You're gonna be alright.
Verse 6. But let him ask in faith, nothing wavering. For he that wavereth is like a wave of the sea, driven with the wind and tossed.
Yeah, toss to and fro, exactly. Just going back and forth. And you don't know, is the Lord really hearing me? Is my prayer really piercing the cloud? Well, that's what it says. So it must be happening. You gotta believe that when you pray, there's an entity out there that actually hears your prayer. And that's the problem with a lot of things. They don't think that their prayer is actually being heard. Man, the outside living. I always say, didn't your ass go in slavery? Alright then. I always say that would happen, right? You gonna tell me that physically under slave trade didn't happen? No, we weren't back there. You gotta take things to believe in that too. I mean, yeah, sure you can see remnants of physical priests, sure. But at the end of the day, slavery happened. The Lord said we were going there. He was disobedient. That means he has to resist. That's all I needed to hear, not think about it. You damn right he went to slavery. Next weekend, that's all he took, you know? So that means if you ask for more wisdom, you gotta be hearing it too. It may not happen overnight. He may put you through some things. But listen, you're gonna get that wisdom. And ask for more faith. Don't be upset when he puts you through a trial that requires more faith. You ask for it.
Yeah, when you go into Ezra, it talks about the angel said if you will fast 7 more days, then I'll give you the rest of the revelation, basically. Yeah, you gotta deny yourself. He said all he ate was the meat of the herbs of the field. You know what I'm saying? Makes you think of artichoke. You know, artichoke got kind of you boil it and then it's like the meat. You know.
I did something like that about 2 years ago. Frank and I were doing it at that time. We did a 1 week food fast. Food sometimes 7 days. I'm telling you, at that point in time, I just did it for physical benefit, but you really do grow spiritually too. When you're fasting, you design yourself to just a lot of different things, a lot of different pleasures. The mind really does go to different places and you start growing, mentally. So the Lord really sees that he's excited. He likes that. He likes to see that you're making yourself holy, And that's something that pleases him. So he's going to hear your prayers, you know what I'm saying? And I noticed that prayers really were answered back then from things that I wasn't even seeking at that time. It just happened. Things were flowing. It really felt like blessings were just coming. Blessings on blessings on blessings. That was it on that. Oh, my mouth.
Yeah, this is Proverbs 13, verse 18. Poverty and shame shall be to him that refuse instruction, but he that regardeth the truth shall be honored.
Yeah, I love precepts like that bring out the balance. Because that's one of those precepts that you can run on for like a whole week. You can just think about both sides. Read that once again, bro.
This is Proverbs 13, verse 18. Poverty and shame shall be to him that refuseth instruction.
Yeah, so you think about it from a physical plane, like that's where my mind always goes first. It's just easy. Poverty and shame will be to him that refuses instruction. Okay, so yeah, literal poverty. That'll happen for sure. But then you have to think about the other side spiritually. Well, if knowledge and wisdom is supposed to represent money, right? And that means poverty has to represent the lack thereof. So if you deny wisdom, deny instruction, then you're going to be a man full of poverty. Right now, I'm looking at millions of people out here that are in poverty. Millions of people in Maryland. You said it's like 6 million. You got damn near 6 million people in Maryland that are in poverty right now because they lack the knowledge and wisdom of these scriptures. Why? Because they're rejecting the knowledge of the Lord. It's easy. You got the riches right in front of their faces. Every single week out here in DC, we on 7th and T. There's no excuse. We say it all the time. Right next to the Howard Theater. You got the most abundant currency in the entire world right now, right here. And you can get it. It's on many street corners, all throughout, not just America, but the entire world. And it's easy. It's on the internet, it's on YouTube. All these different places where you can grab this knowledge. But now you got people in poverty. I mean, they lack this knowledge. They lose peace. All because they don't want to get the knowledge of the Lord. Keep going to Mount Summit to the other side.
But he that regardeth reproof shall be honored.
Yeah, but if you regard reproof, meaning what? You're going to be honored. Why? Oh, even you don't gotta get it. But remember, in the Lord's Prayer, it says that hallowed be thy name. Right? It says that same word in the book of 2nd Ezra, the 2nd chapter. Those men that stood so stiffly, it says that they'll be hallowed as well. Meaning that they're going to be honored, they're going to be reverenced. Why? Because of their knowledge, wisdom, and understanding. It ain't going to be because you had 1 million Bitcoins sitting in the bank. Because you had 2 million worth of CBDC. Now you the man in the new world. Now you're honored because you saw the early investment. Hell no. You'll be honored, you'll be reverenced because you have the knowledge that leads to everlasting life. That's what it's about. It's the most precious currency on the planet Earth right now. Why would we not want to take part in it and get in it early? The earliest as possible. The earlier you get into something, the more of it that you have. Investing 101. You see that free, right?
Stay ahead of the curve.
Yeah, exactly. Yep. Good, bro.
You can apply this in the spirit, this precept in the spirit. It says, Proverbs 20:13, love not sleep, lest thou come to poverty. Open thine eyes, and thou shalt be satisfied with bread.
Well, if you're asleep, then that means you're in darkness. That's a representation of the metaphor right there. Remember, you got to get that physical side and then also the spiritual side.
Yeah, Proverbs 20:13, love not sleep, lest thou come to poverty.
Love not sleep, lest thou come to poverty. You're sleeping, you're not working. You can't occupy when you're sleeping. You can't occupy, you can't trade that money into something else if you're sleeping. This means what? You're into the darkness. The Bible calls us children of light. Meaning we have this knowledge. We got this knowledge, we can do something with it. Read it.
Yep. Open thine eyes, and thou shalt be satisfied with bread.
Yep. Meaning you get knowledge, with wisdom, understanding. We'll be satisfied with it. Are we not satisfied with this knowledge? We were in this world, and we know what the hell to do. We didn't need that something was wrong with it.
Proverbs 20:13, love not sleep, lest thou come to poverty.
Yeah.
Open thine eyes, and thou shalt be satisfied with bread.
Open your eyes, meaning become the children of light, read, grab this knowledge, and you'll be satisfied with it. That's what that's talking about, son.
Quick mention, when you read the verse above it, it speaks about that hearing eye and the hearing ear and the seeing eye, which are all spiritual things. You gotta apply it in the spirit. You gotta learn how to apply it in the spirit.
Yeah. We're definitely satisfied with this knowledge because before you in the world and you're like, damn, I go to college, I get my degree, I do whatever. You come out,
It's good. How for you right here?
You're like, man, the real world is good. When I was talking to my friend about it, I said it really hit me when I left college. And then I was working and the summer came. All my friends still in college. And they're like,
Should be at like,
vacation. I'm like,
yeah, I'm at like almost 70%.
this is what it means to needing a joke. That's what it means to grow the fuck up. And not to look forward to this for the rest of my life. But now, all of a sudden, when you get this knowledge and understanding, you say, you know what, it's comforting. Like, this is not the end, but much more than the bottom. I may have to keep working, but there's a better rest coming. Yeah, but it's this light at the end of the tunnel. There's something better. Yep.
So Ecclesiastes chapter 2, verse 14. A wise man's eyes is head. When the fool walketh in darkness, eyes itself is also
That happens to everybody, right? But it says, I like the first phrase, a wise man's eyes are his head. Meaning you're not supposed to just use your eyes for no dangerous reason. In your head represents in your mind, your thinking, right? You have understanding. You're supposed to be doing something with it. But the lack thereof, you got to think always about the opposite spectrum, because the opposite spectrum is what keeps that fear and silence. What keeps you grounded. Without that knowledge, you're in the land of darkness. You're in the land of death. I always think about that. Whenever I read, I always come from the side of the 2/3 because they don't have this knowledge. They put fear inside me. I say, damn, I don't want to do that. You have to do that. Sometimes, I'll do it on purpose. I'll put fear, or I'll do my best to put some fear inside of you. Keep my ass on the side. You have to. Some years go by. You like, damn, I didn't put in work, blah, blah, blah. Sometimes you just feel like in the flesh, you want to just kill, you just want to rest. Nah, man. Keep your eyes in your mind. Keep your eyes on the end goal and keep pushing. Do whatever you got to do. Keep that fire inside. Damn, it's about revelation. You got to grab it.
Revelations 3 and 15. I know thy works, that thou art neither cold nor hot. I would thou wert cold or hot. So then, because thou art lukewarm and neither cold nor hot, I will spew you out of my mouth.
There's the last phrase. I will spew you out of my mouth. If the Lord spews you out of his mouth, that means he puts you in the category of the 2/3. You ain't nothing better than you rotten ass nigga selling dope for your fellow brothers. That's all that is. Even though you ain't doing it, you in the same category as these niggas. So now what? You say, I don't want to be cold. I don't want to be lukewarm. Let me stay on fire. Let me stay hot. So that I can receive more knowledge, more wisdom, more understanding. I can do something with it. It says if you gain this knowledge, if you gain, I bet you somebody that's looking at us. It always happens. Falls right in the intersection. They forget that the light turns right in front of them. Happens all the time. They can't help it. You become that spectacle like the Bible talks about. This one too. See? Can't be the church. Man roll down the window. You just want to listen. That's the third time I see somebody roll down the window. That's prophecy in itself. Becoming that spectacle like I said. And the Lord said he's going to put change in his fame. But the point that I wanted to make here was that last phrase like I was getting into. The Lord said he'll spew you out of his mouth. He'll take you out of his teeth. So now what? You hear that and you say, let me do the opposite of what a 2/3 would do. I'm going to make a video called Do the Opposite of the 2/3. That's it. That's all you have to do. So you'll make sure you're on the right path.
Oh, no. This is Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 7, verse 7. Remember, I just read James' first chapter, verse 5, about masters of wisdom. This is verse 7. Wherefore I prayed, and understanding was given me. I called upon the Most High, and the spirit of wisdom came to me. I preferred her before scepter and throne, and esteemed riches nothing in comparison with others. Neither compared I unto her any precious stone, because all gold in respect of her is as a little sand.
Bro, if you look at yourself as a king, if you look at yourself as a king, That should be one of your favorite chapters right there. One of them. We all got different spirits. But listen, if you want to gain that kingdom, if you really want to be a king, then you need wisdom, you need knowledge and understanding to run it. So that should be the first thing that you see to gain that knowledge. And this is King Solomon right here.
Yeah, it says it's somewhere in Proverbs where it says basically it's basically the king's job to find out the matter.
Yeah.
You know, it's a Proverbs somewhere. So it's the king's job to figure it out.
So King Solomon said he preferred wisdom over rubies. He said even over a scepter. Shit, you don't even gotta put, right? You put wisdom first. Because the king has a scepter, but he said he preferred knowledge over the scepter. He knew that there was a foundation that had to be laid down. We got last
This is Wisdom Solomon, chapter 7, verse 9. Neither compared I unto her any precious stone, because all gold in respect of her is as a little sand.
nothing. Because his hand is already fallen out to him. It's nothing. Right? It's nothing to be compared to this. That's how great it is. You gotta understand we're literally gaining something. We're getting something that's coming from the heavenly Father himself. We're getting a piece of his high grace right there. That's what it is to gain wisdom. It's coming from the heavens. People don't understand it. The knowledge that we have literally came from a different realm. The knowledge that we had, it ain't earthly. It ain't something that man created. Nah, yeah. It's literally heavenly knowledge that we're getting, and we don't even know where it's coming from. Check that out. You tell me when the Heavenly Father reigns, and then you can tell me where wisdom comes from. Tell me what realm that is. I don't know. I didn't even think about it to bug myself out. I'm just grateful to have it.
Straight out the fourth dimension.
We don't know what part, wherever that is. You know, how would you get there?
Pure influence coming down.
Yeah.
We don't know where the Most High starts and ends.
Come.
Shit, it'd be nice to see if you just saw it coming down somewhere. Follow like a rainbow.
It says, and silver shall be counted as clay before her. I love her above health and beauty, and chose to have her instead of light. For the light that cometh from her never goeth out.
Right. Yeah. It's hard.
This is Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 7, verse 5. It says, neither compared I unto her any precious stone, because all gold in respect of her is as a little sand, and silver shall be counted as clay before her.
Gold is one of the most precious things you have on earth. Yeah, gold is real. Gold is natural. Another way to vibration for the color color. So it's eating, edible. Now, King Solomon said, above one of the most precious metals on earth, stones on earth, I prefer wisdom. Because why? That wisdom is what really leads a person to help him.
Verse 10, I love her above health and beauty, and chose to have her instead of light. For the light that cometh from her never goeth out. All good things together came to me with her, and innumerable riches in her hand.
Yeah, because that goes hand in hand with, I know right there, right in the middle bar, I know it's leading over the first
Uh-huh.
Yeah,
Go there.
we understood that. That's not good. It's not right here. That's what Wisdom Solomon was. King Solomon actually. He understood that. He had the knowledge, wisdom, and understanding. He was young. When he took the he said, listen, I can't rule these people without this. And that's why he was able to write these things. That's also why he was able to write about different games. He understood it.
1 Kings 3:13. And I have also given thee that which thou hast not had, both riches and honor, So First Kings 3:11. And the Most High said unto him, because thou hast asked this thing and hast not asked for thyself.
Started 9. I think it's 9.
First Kings 3:9 verse. Give therefore thy
Like that.
First Kings 3
Ask for
and
spiritual
9 verse.
Con.
Give therefore thy servant an understanding heart to judge thy people, that I may discern between good and bad. For who is able to judge this, thy so great a people?
Yeah, that's one of the most important things that a judge needs, a king needs. He needs discernment. A judge or a king is always making decisions. They come to him in that top, mighty position. If your people don't know something, they come to you. They expect you to have the answer. So he asks for that understanding and discernment to guide the people.
And the speech pleased the Most High, that Solomon had asked this thing. And the Most High, Yahweh, said unto him, because thou hast asked this thing and hast not asked for thyself long life, neither hast asked riches for thyself, nor hast asked the life of mine enemies, but hast asked for thyself understanding to discern judgment.
Yeah, because you could ask anything. Give me the Edomites, the Philistines, and Moab under my foot. You could have asked for that. You won't probably would have done it. Give me immortality. I want to live to be older than Methuselah. You could have asked for that. You could have asked for anything. Give me the perfect palace to dwell in day by day. Anything. But he understood that first, if you're going to crown me, if I'm going to be king, I need to be able to lead my people to your people properly. So give me the knowledge to do that. Not please the Lord. And he wrote it out for us like that so that we can understand. But okay, he didn't ask for these things. He asked for wisdom first.
Behold, I have done according to thy word. Lo, I had given thee a wise and an understanding heart, so that there was none like thee before thee, neither after thee shall any arise like unto thee.
Now let you know that that's what he did. I was trying to let someone else did arise, like someone arise, rose better than him. Like, nothing about that last verse. But now, that's the point.
So Psalms 111, verse 10. You have no power. Understanding how big that Jesus commandments. Praise.
Right, so there's a foundation before you gain that wisdom first, which is that fear. I always mention it, and remember in the book of Hebrews, the 11th chapter, it says that Noah breathed with fear, and then he built that up. So first he had the fear of the Lord, and that fear was rooted, then he was able to get out there and wisdom, he applied that knowledge and build that up. That's the order in which it comes. So yeah, listen, pray for more fear too. You don't think that the Lord is going to put you in a dire situation, life and death. But I pray for fear constantly. That's literally like it's a daily prayer. One of my daily prayers. Pray for more fear. Like I said, you look at Jacob, all you have to do is ask the opposite of it. They don't fear the Lord. Let me ask you more of what they don't got. Like you just take it. That's what you do when you trade money. Like on the foreign exchange market, whenever you make some money, you're taking somebody else's money. Whenever you lose money, you lost it to somebody else. That's really what's happening. So I'm trying to get all the fear that these two birds don't have. So all the wisdom that you don't got, give it to me.
Angel Tate, he was saying you don't make money, you take it. Figure out what your money is and you get in the way of it, you take it.
Nobody's just going to give it to you.
Nobody's just gonna give it to you, you gotta get in the way of it. See where it's flowing, and set up a dam and take that shit. You don't really make it. Nobody has their own Federal Reserve system. You know what I'm saying? So you literally gotta take the money.
Yeah, exactly. That's what happens.
Takers. Just watching it a couple weeks ago.
Matthew 4, verse 4. He said, he answered and said, it is written, man shall not live by bread alone, but by every word that proceedeth out of the mouth of Yahweh.
Yeah. Man shall not live by bread alone. Every single word, which is what? The word is his comfort. That's that knowledge and understanding. If people don't realize that, it's going to be made known very soon. It's and days. The only way to live, the only way to eat is by having this knowledge and understanding. The Lord said that. He said, my servants shall eat. Why? Because they have the knowledge. They know what to do. They know that to eat. I don't got to go out here and try to hunt that deer. Sure, if you want it. The Lord could just bring it to you. You don't got to do much. He's literally going to provide for his people in 3 days. It's all because we have this knowledge and understanding. You can have to grab that too. Isaiah 33.
Precept, bro?
Like you said, you can't receive nothing unless it's from the Lord. This is John 3:27. It said, John answered and said, a man can receive nothing except it be given him from heaven.
Yeah, from heaven. Exactly. Nothing is John 3:27. That goes for spiritual and physical. You can't receive nothing unless the heavenly Father and his only begotten Son gives it to you. That's why you got to give the Lord all the glory, praise, and honor. That's the perfect priest who the mouth is great too. That's right. You have to live by bread alone. But true word, true bread, is down to understanding. Right? Let me go ahead and for
Isaiah 33 and the 6th verse, and wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability of thy time, and strength of salvation, the fear of the Lord is his treasure.
Fear the Lord is his treasure. I always say that if you have a treasure in the morning, keep it close. You don't want nobody to take that from you.
That's right.
You get that money, what you do with it? You hide it. Right? You know, and then you give it out to those that are actually going to do something with it that's profit. Like we said before. You don't just give out, what you call it? Casting out the world as far as what?
That's right.
Like keep that. Slowly don't give it to the dogs. You got knowledge and understanding, you know the Lord's name, you're not going to go to your job and yell it out for everybody. You ain't for everybody. Out John 3:27. You're not going to know what to talk about. Keep that to yourself. Now you can be set out there and plan. Things go down, that they know all about, they know their money. You know my job, you don't shoot about me.
That's right.
Sports teams or nothing. I like to steal. You know, they know the opposite of everything, bro. This is what's wrong with that. Y'all the guy. Yellow, stop. And you keep it to yourself, man. You keep that knowledge and get it to certain people. I remember at first, I learned my lesson. I was I didn't know more. I was he was older things too. So I'm talking to him, we're going into the Bible and everything. And we started talking about the flood. So I'm bringing some things down to him, and he seems like he's inquiring genuinely. So I'm giving him knowledge to him. And all of a sudden, he flipped. Like it was a 30-second, he became soft. Like, what the fuck, man? He was being very gentle. He was listening before. Listen, he was never know. The best thing to do is he gave us a route. He told us, look, teach out there in the street, you make no videos. That's all you gotta do. But in that rare food store, at the end of the day, he told us what to do. We should teach us what to do. In fact, this is what
14:23, and the Lord said unto the servant, Go out into the highways and hedges, and tell them to come in, that my house may be filled.
What's going on, bro? You heard of us before?
Of course.
Okay.
I used to be in New Black Panther Party back in the day. Yeah, I respect everything.
Okay.
Well, I don't judge or read what else. Muhammad said, never try to change anybody's religion. Let everything be the way it is.
Okay. Here, you convert it.
Yeah. Luke 14:23, it says, And the Lord said unto the servant, Go out into the highways and hedges, and compel them to come in, that my house may be filled.
Right, so that's the point right there that I was making. The Lord gave us specific direction. Get out there on the highways and byways, that's where you see your work. Don't make it complicated. You know? Like Ron said, I just put it right after. I said, people think I get myself talking to this weird ass thing. I'm going to break everything down for you, you know? You just come in, you just want to get it out, you know? Hug it. Now you got to show sometimes. That's why we're out here. Come out here on the highways and edges to let our people know that the true Hebrew Israelites are so-called Black, so-called Hispanics, and so-called Native Americans. And we're going to come looking like all the different nations in which the Heavenly Father had us scattered throughout different captivities, different lands in which we were brought up and raised. Now we're going to come looking like different states. Yeah, before we all had that brown hue to us. And now you may have somebody like a so-called like a Chinese. Who's wearing yellow. They call us black, right? Asian, anything, right? All that. But they're really Hebrew Israelites if they have this word. So we dance this one more time.
Yep. Luke 14:23, and the Lord said unto the servant, Go out into the highways and hedges, and compel them to come in, that my house may be filled.
Yes, and that's what we're doing out here. That's the whole reason why we're out here. In order to get the real truth, you gotta come out to the streets. Because the streets are not in the churches, they're not in the parishes, they're not in these HBCUs. They're out here on the streets, you know? That's right. Where the truth always got proclaimed, just like the ancient times. You can get Romans 9 and 25. Got it. Oh, see?
This is Romans chapter 9, verse 25. As he saith also in OC, I will call them my people, which were not my people.
Right, because a lot of our people didn't call themselves black. It's not black. People say it's black. Black terms were just used to codify and categorize so they can push their false slack like narrative. Black is in the wood. You know? The Black Panther Party, that was like thousands. So we talk about the whole nation, but now even they're going to all everybody who's not knowing. Go ahead.
And her beloved, which was not beloved. Verse 26, and it shall come to pass.
Right, these are the most not beloved people on earth right now. Go ahead.
And it shall come to pass that in the place where it was said unto them, Ye are not my people, there shall they be called the children of the living power.
Right, loosely translated Israelites. This is the only place where our names are changed over and over again. Niggers, coons, African Americans, Negroes, blacks, you know. Like I said last week, you still got the NAACP, they still ain't changed from any of those shit. It's still colored people on there. And again, the NAACP was started by so-called white people. Yeah, we believe in one God, but we're not Muslims.
I know.
We believe in one God. His name is Yahweh. His son's name is Yahweh Shah. That's what we believe. That's what the scriptures say. Now we come out here to tell our people who they are. That's what they want to believe in God. All right? And the true God, the true one God in heaven, his name is Yahweh. His son's name is Yahweh Shah.
We don't believe in all that. We don't believe in going over to Mecca and walking around the stone and bowing down, kissing, all that stuff that comes along with it, We don't agree with all that stuff.
Okay. Well, hey,
We only believe in the Bible, and that's it, nothing else.
Okay, so you don't think that the Bible has been recorded? So you think everything in the Bible?
Yeah.
So if the Bible is, why you got three versions, like King James?
King James is the only version that we use.
Okay, so who is King James?
He's an Israelite.
So how do you, so King James got the right to put the Bible in there? I believe that the Bible is part of God's word. There's nothing came before the Quran, the Bible, because we call it God. But through time, it changed. I believe the original text.
That's fine. That just means you don't hold the same faith.
What do you think?
Go ahead, bro. I'll read that again.
Romans chapter 9, verse 26.
This is going to play into a point that I'm going to do. Really don't care. I don't care who brothers. If y'all brothers get the different with me, all you can do, that's all I matter.
That's right. What? Oh shit. That's right. That's right. I'm messing the Bahamas. What?
Romans chapter 9, verse 26. And it shall come to pass that in the place where it was said unto them, ye are not my people, there shall they be called the children of the living power.
People don't even know why they got an attitude, Our people just walk around with attitudes like we the worst thing out there, Meanwhile, you got Jake back and forth, going around the corner, pants halfway down their ass, blood dripping out where the fucking needle is stuck. And they don't got an attitude about that. I think it was work. That's why I keep going.
Verse 27. Isaiah also cried concerning Israel, though the number of the children of Israel be as the sand of the sea, a remnant shall be saved.
Right, 6 million people in Maryland, so it's probably at least 3 million are Israelites, We're going to whack all them, especially before Baltimore's home. I was hoping those hackers completed their tasks, shutting down Baltimore, I was hoping that the water got everything. And at the same time, I was praying that things that were going to
That's right.
everybody else, man. That's what the Lord said. Don't be for me the singles and the women. That's all we care about. See, like we all about you in the shop. You got to do what you say. You got to do the opposite of this thing. 2/3 is going to get black people together. Black people this, black people that. Bro, if you're listening to somebody who has fringes on them, and they say black people more than 10 times, you know what I'm saying, in 10 minutes, don't listen to them. That's a key indicator. This person has an ulterior motive. He's doing their homeless.
This is verse 28. For he will finish the work and cut it short in righteousness, because a short work will the Most High make upon the earth.
Right, now he's got a second Peter 3:3. And that's why people scoff and smoke. That's why people scoff, because they see the time is still going by. You can still do your duties, So people are chilling. You can still put your hand in the air and flag down a cat. I haven't seen somebody do that in a while. I saw the other day.
Yeah. Wow. That's old.
It's just like it's still pulling over and accepting,
Fairs.
the light on you. Accepting fairs. There's still concerts going on. There's still shows. There's still happy hours. There's still reels and TikToks. So people are chilling.
Go ahead, bro. This is 2 Peter 3, verse 3. Knowing this first, that there shall come in the last days scoffers.
Right, so I don't blame the guy. It's just part of the job description. That's the first thing we got to know. That's why we don't cast our programs. Because the majority of people are going to be like, what the hell are you talking about? never talk about it. Like, I don't know, you got them on face type of stuff, you know? Then you'll have other people, they like to floss to the main. They won't agree, be completely upset, but just stick around and scoff the whole time. We haven't had that happen in a while, so why do you have like
Come.
the majority of scoffers, your mouth is just going to stop. They might get stopped from done, they might get stopped from putting that thing in, that rock man. Because that's when you're going to be quiet. You're like, oh shit, those guys are right. And here I am with a Band-Aid on my hand trying to get an MRE. Go ahead.
Scoffers walking after their own lust.
And walking after their own lust. We was talking about that, talking about woke culture. That's what woke culture is, walking after your own lust. Somebody that just wake up and say, I'm a cactus. Then you get fired. You get fired from your job for not identifying them as their proper cactus program. That's walking after your own lust. Here's Morgan talking about the two-spirited tangle. You know? Like, come on, bro. Like, that's walking after your own lust. And again, you don't address him as such. He gets upset enough. You're asked to lose your whole living situation. Go ahead.
Verse 4. And sang.
Oh, let's get Ecclesiastes real quick.
This is Ecclesiastes chapter 8, verse 10. And so I saw the wicked buried, who had come and gone from the place of the holy, and they were forgotten in the city where they had so done. This is also vanity, because sentence against an evil work is not executed speedily. Therefore, the heart of the sons of men is fully set in them to do evil.
Right, that's why. Look, you see, look at this Jake. Look at this. You're just talking about this shit. Look at that. It's free 99 over there, bro.
Yeah.
Now, where the hell did this nigga get all this stuff? And this is a derelict driving that truck, bro. This is a derelict driving that truck. Yeah, bro. And you see the Assalamu alaikum over there.
Come.
Salam. You know what they did. Assalamu over there, you know. What does I know call Assalamu and bacon? Assalamu and bacon. You know? This is complete wickedness, bro. And again, because sentence is not executed speedily, nothing's happening. I mean, cops drive by all the time and they see the wickedness is going on right here on the corner. They can lock all these people up.
Yep.
But again, jails is packed. You know, they know if they lock them up, that's what what they say, a hot,
God. Yeah. God.
So, I mean, they don't care. Keep on in the
Verse 11. Because sentence against an evil work is not executed speedily, therefore the heart of the sons of men is fully set in them to do evil.
Right, fully set in them to do evil. They're not going to stop, bro. My man, what's the stunt? New Jack City.
New Jack.
You know what I'm saying? It took a whole damn building, bro.
Caught it.
They're wise to do evil. Like, when they
Wow.
plan it out, they plan it out thoroughly. Like, if they got to do paperwork, they'll put in the paperwork. You know? Like this Tweety Foghorn Leghorn nigga, the one tall nigga, you know, with the locks on top. He got locked up, and he was praising the Lord, and then he got released a couple weeks later. Remember that? He was back out here like, hold on, this is all this nigga putting the panty wagon with everybody else. And they all got released, bro. Well, one of them we don't see anymore. No, light-skinned dude with the cat. Maybe that memorial is for him. You know, we don't see him anymore. Like you said, another part of the city, we got enough money to stop coming out here. Then we got out again. But again, the Lord said he's going to get you. And according to Ecclesiastes, keep on.
Verse 12. Though a sinner do evil 100 times, and his days be prolonged, yet surely I know that it shall be well with them that fear the Most High.
Okay, so that's why all we're going to do is just work you guys, you know? We're not going to try to tell you, hey, you have to join our camp. You have to believe what we're saying, you know? No, just teach the truth and do what's right, you know? The scripture talks about doing justice and judgment in the gate. That's what we come out here to do, man. So we can, I guess, put our best foot forward and be in the best position to get salvation, you know? we're in the best. We had the best opportunity to receive salvation. We're not going to squander that. You know, we're not going to squander that. And this Israelite over here with the great cap standing by himself, he's waxing worse and worse ever since that day he scoffed. Yeah, he asked money that one day. I honestly didn't have it. This nigga cursed me out, bro.
Why?
But any other time, we would buy him an actual pizza slices and everything. Now he's through, bro. He's even more strung out. You know, I don't know how he has on Balenciaga shoes. You know? Yeah, he must be a Jackson, bro. Last name must be Jackson.
Nah, that ain't it.
I was playing with you, bro.
Live among the family.
Yeah, in a roundabout way, he is a Jackson, bro. He's the son of Jacob. He's Jacob. You know, Bill Gates wears fucking edge ups, you know, fucking Skechers and Lacoste polos and
Lacoste.
Looms, boxers and shit. You know, that's what Bill Gates did. Was a nigga with Balenciaga, but he's sleeping outside. You know, yeah, he got a fucking dog. Bro, every single one of them. The bitch got she got a three-piece suit on, bro. Fitted, bro.
Yeah. Clothes drop off.
Let's go back to the scripture because the Lord knows how to get you. Flying around, so-called
Verse 13. But it shall not be well with the wicked, neither shall he prolong his days, which are as a shadow.
Right, that's why you see in America slowly come to an end right before your eyes. This is a wicked ass country. You know, so it's the foundation, the very core of this place is wicked. The money, the food, the people, the air, hell, even the animals, man. The animals were at peace with God. You don't hear no crazy stories about God dealing with multiple bear attacks and stuff like that. You know, I'm pretty sure they had to deal with the animals, but again, most animals they can sense fear. You know, so it's like when Esau got here, everything was determined. Now you got our people falling behind him. That's why it's even worse. Again, our people are wise to do evil. That's why the Lord reports to them as degenerate. You know, what the hell is Jake gonna do with a box of paper?
Damn.
One time we was on that side of the street, and Jake was walking by talking about, I got knives, $10 knives. Jake opened, he had all these nice ass knives inside of his pocket knife, all $10 pieces. I was like, God damn, Jake. Yeah, because I'm ready for a good time.
Yeah.
You know, walking around with batteries and all kinds of stuff.
This is Ecclesiastes chapter 8, verse 14. I'll read 13 again. But it shall not be well with the wicked, neither shall he prolong his days, which are as a shadow, because he feareth not before the Most High. 14. There is a vanity which is done.
Peter 3, verse 4. And saying, where is the promise of his coming? For since the fathers fell asleep.
Right now, they don't physically have to say this out loud. Actually speak out of it. The fact that our people are not getting in line with the program and how much and our people who know the scriptures, know the names, and that they refuse to teach what they've learned from the beginning, the Lord's going to have to teach you. It has nothing to do with you. You know, you're just leading our people astray, off a cliff. Go ahead.
And saying, it says, for since the fathers fell asleep, all things continue as they were from the beginning of the creation. For this they willingly are ignorant of, that by the word of God the heavens were of old, and the earth standing out of the water, and in the... This is crazy. This is the verse I was breaking down. It's funny, I'm reading it now. It says that by the word of God the heavens were of old, and the earth standing out of the water and in the water, whereby the world that then was, being overflowed with water, perished.
Right. So the Lord gave our people an example. You know, they see a movie like Noah, and they hear the story of it in what's it called? Bible school, Bible study, vacation Bible school growing up. And they make it seem like it was just a rainbow over the ark. Animals were going in happy, you know, on the vegetable.
destroyed everybody, bro. Yeah, there were dead bodies floating. You know, imagine what it smelled like coming off of the earth, bro. You know, when bodies are in water and then they blow up, you know, the body expands. All them chemicals, they're fucking blow up, bro. Bodies will blow up with all the acids and chemicals inside of them. It's detrimental to you. Now, that's going to happen again from a nuclear fire, but the Lord left that example. People just think it's a fairy tale.
It says, but the heavens and the earth which are now by the same word are kept in store, reserved unto fire against the day of judgment and perdition of ungodly men. It says, but beloved,
yeah, preserved. And remember, the thing with things that are preserved, the longer it's preserved, the stronger it gets. You know, like if you got a tincture, you know, or a bottle of wine, or something like that, or preserved it. Or like honey, I recently made another batch of honey bars. The longer you let it sit, you really don't want to use it until after about 2 or 3 weeks. So the longer it sits, the stronger it is, the more powerful. That's what it was, man. He just got Jake one day with himself, one up your time. You know, so he can tell you you check. And it's going to pay with your blood, man. That's what our people don't understand. Lord, because you being disobedient, the Lord's looking at you like a witch. So now you got to be burned. You have to be put to death. You're a goddamn sorcerer in the eyes of the Heavenly Father. That's all the majority of these Negroes are. Warlocks, witches, Wiccans, you know. They into all that stuff. Go ahead.
Are you through with that?
No, I'm going to keep going here.
Okay. This is Jeremiah chapter 17, verse 15. It says, behold, they say unto me, where is the word of the Most High? Let it come now.
Yes, but it's right in front of their face, though. You know? You know what they want? They want to see Kanye in a garment. You know, they want to see him at camp. That's when they'll say, okay, this guy's serious. Or they want, or not even that. They just want to see his next album cover with like Star David or something, like so-called Star David. You know, that's what they want. They want Kodak Black.
Come.
Verse 16. As for me, I have not hastened from being a pastor to follow you. Neither have I desired the woeful day. Thou knowest. That which came out of my lips was right before thee. Be not a terror unto me. Thou art my hope in the day of evil.
Yeah, that's what we're asking for. These people, they understand that evil days are coming, but they're not praying to be protected. You know, they're not praying to be protected. That's what we are, though. We understand the details of what's going to happen. You know? So when we pray, we're literally praying, Lord, keep me safe from the famine. You know, cannibalism that happens, don't let it happen in my neighborhood. Or if it happens in my neighborhood, protect me. Somebody I know who seems like they got faith now, if they start losing their faith, protect me from them.
Come.
You gotta pray like that, man. This faith is gonna go out the window for a lot of people. Like this big thing standing up here shivering for Islam. That's what I call work. He was shivering, bro. Islam. Yeah. Assalamu alaikum.
Come. Yeah.
Assalamu alaikum.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead, bro.
This is Jeremiah chapter 17, verse 18.
There's gonna be a bean pie in the world to say that, nigga, bro.
Trying to tell you.
Watch. Cause he can eat bean pie with them gums. It's hard to eat other stuff. Them gums Jake has, bro. The hell with all you niggas, bro. We just gonna fly. Look, we're gonna be destroyed anyway. It's not like they gonna remember this. You know? That's how I look, bro. These people.
Right.
You're never gonna see these people again. You gotta have fun when you do this work too. You gotta be authority on it.
That's right.
These people have no idea what's about to happen. Go ahead, man.
Jeremiah chapter 17, verse 18. Let them be confounded that persecute me, but let not me be confounded.
All right, and the main way they're going to be confounded is when they get that prerogative, man. They're going to realize that they've been asked out. Because what Esau is going to do, he's going to give you a false sense of hope. You know, like the brother Mafia Eyes, he shared that video on 93.9. They was talking about the prerogative.
Yeah.
Fed down.
Mm-hmm.
whoa.
she had a good point. She was like, well, if everything's tied up in digital and you know how much you're making, then what's the point of filing taxes? Right? What's the point? And if they are going to stop that process, then that means there's going to be a lot of layoffs in the government for IRS. What's the point of hiring those 82,000 agents if everything's just going to go digital?
Yep.
Well, that's because they're gonna be bracing for a lot of resistance.
Oh yeah.
So it's gonna be just mass deaths. These are going to be putting people to death if you don't want to do it before. You know, they're gonna be early prison releases and all that stuff, just like they did with Maxine Waters. Go ahead, Doc.
This is Jeremiah chapter 17, verse 18.
Read 17 from the top. 17.
Oh, verse 17. It says, be not a terror unto me, thou art my hope in the day of evil. 18. Let them be confounded that persecute me, but let not me be confounded.
Straight up curse. Jeremiah whooped the curse out of
Mm-hmm.
As much as he loved Jake, he hated him just as much. Go ahead.
Let them be dismayed, but let not me be dismayed. Bring upon them the day of evil, and destroy them with double destruction.
Destroy them with double destruction. There's a lot of things that these people have wished upon us that we don't even know about.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of all these brothers' cars being broken into. You know how many fights that broke out across the street? Not only this is just, we talking about just this part of the city, bro. Remember the end down, she pulled a knife on the elder bro Matasha. And we got in trouble. What type of shit is that? Now that I bet you she's miserable somewhere, bro. Yeah, she might be strung out on fentanyl somewhere. Lord willing. That's the best thing we can hope for her. Go ahead, bro.
That was it on that.
Oh, you probably got a free.
It's James 1 and 2. In the NIV it says, consider it pure joy, my brothers and sisters, whenever you face trials of many kinds, because you know that the testing of your faith produces perseverance. Let perseverance finish its works so that you may be mature and complete, not lacking anything.
Yeah, there's a lot of temptation. You want to wild out on everything you see sometimes, but you can't. You got to be temperate and moderate. You know, like this guy here, I probably could have kept him here longer by going into some things, but it's what's the point? Like the scripture says, if you talk to a fool, whether he rages or not, there is no rest. And you bring shame upon yourself too. Because it's hard to edify with somebody who's a fool. You know? And it's easier to edify with somebody who is already believes in something, but just doesn't know it. They're not as foolish as there's levels of foolishness, you know? Like as much as I had the spiritual power to vaporize these two sodomites, I can't, bro. I can't do it, but I would love to. Three sodomites. Yeah, that's a good one. That's the woke group. But you would never know because of this 5 o'clock shadow. Hey, but we happy in the spirit of Yahweh Shah because at least we understand this truth. You know, let's go back to 2 Peter.
2 Peter chapter 3, verse 8. But beloved, be not ignorant of this one thing, that one day is with the Lord as 1,000 years, and 1,000 years as one day.
Yeah, they think the Lord just went back and said, all right, I'm never coming back to help our people. That goes for not only people that just our people stop believing in the Lord, but our people living in these churches. Plantation Christianity, they're not looking for the Lord to come back, you know? A lot of them blew a lot of their rent money on their outfit for tomorrow. You know what I'm saying, bro? And then the means I know we're doing the breakdowns. And we're willing to go into Ishtar
But the colors, when it first started, and they were celebrating back in ancient Babylon and in Greece, they would use the colors green, yellow, and purple. All right, those so specific colors. Those are also the same colors that are on the questionable community's flag. So it's no coincidence that all that wickedness is just tied up into that. Oh no, don't forget that they just took the rainbow and completely used it for the wrong reason. Yeah, bro, you walk around here with a rainbow shirt, people will be side on you, bro. You got to knock out everybody you see.
Come on.
You know? You can't do that. You know what I'm saying? Some brothers can, and if you want, there's nothing fine. I would never judge a brother for wearing anything that has rainbow colors on it, bro. At all, ever. But again, when you out here, you walking among these people, you're going to get the demonic look, you know? You're going to get the demonic question. Next thing you know, you start down here in a rainbow tree, bro. Rainbow tree. You know, anyway. See, that's why we got to wait on the Lord. We understand the Lord's timing. We understand the Lord's timing.
Peter 3, verse 10, or verse 9. Because the Lord is not slack concerning his promise.
Right. The Lord is not slack concerning his promise. His promise is that he would deliver the elect of Israel. You know, and he would give us abundance in time of trouble. And he would allow us to laugh and have joy. After being crushed all this time, then all hell breaks loose, and he's going to allow us to have joy. You know, like when David says, my cup overflowing, that's when all hell is breaking loose, bro. That's what David was talking about for us in these times. Go ahead.
It says, as some men count slackness, but is long suffering to usward, not willing that any should perish, but that all should come to repentance.
Right. To us, it's long suffering. These other Israelite groups, do they look like they're suffering? Hell no. They do not look. They don't look. They talk about the suffering of our people, but they don't look like they're suffering. You can watch a random GMS camp video, and you look at any one of the brothers, you can tell, okay, this brother's going through. You kind of see that, oh, this brother's going through. Over there at these other groups, they look fine, bro. Decked out, music videos. All that, bro. 25 women sitting in picnic chairs on the side. You know?
It's crazy.
Yeah, decked out. They got the fake gold, all the stuff, man. Like you're in your salvation. That makes no sense. No sense.
It's Proverbs chapter 1, verse 23. Turn you at my reproof. Behold, I will pour out my spirit unto you.
Right. Why don't our people want to turn at the Lord's reproof? Because it's coming out of our mouths. You have a problem with the way we look. You know what I'm saying? All right? But if a Mack truck was coming at you and you didn't know, we say, get out the fucking way. Crying, you know? Oh, thank you so much for saving my life. I owe you. You know? That's what we're saying. The so-called white man is Esau in the Bible, and he's coming to kill you. He's coming to put his spirit inside of you through a C-hip. You know? The way that you buy your dog food is about to change. You know? Amazon Fresh is coming for everybody, man. Because Fed Now is coming for everybody. You got a lot, and that's what's going to happen. Is society's going to crumble. A lot of people going to have to go to the barter system. Because you have a lot of people. They remember that whole van life movement. You got a lot of. That's why I was watching some off-grid videos last night. I still got to watch the big bro. I'm on the bar. He just did a video. I didn't watch it, but it said you have to learn how to live off the grid. Not as in like you have to live off the grid, but like get the mindset of what it's like to live off the grid. You know, no running water, no electricity. You know, the meals are scarce. Having is rice. She get upset, she catch an attitude. It's a key indicator. You know what I'm saying? So I can eat,
Come.
just eat straight rice, bro.
Oh, yeah.
And then if you got seasoning, you're good. That's how do you make yellow rice? Turmeric and ginger. That's how yellow rice is made. It's not with the dye. Some yellow rices, they're not adding that in. The yellow rice is just turmeric and ginger, bro. So curry, yeah, a little curry powder.
Mm-hmm.
You can survive off it. That's carbs.
Yep.
Which what turns into sugar and turns into energy. So if you got a big ass bag of rice from a West African market, you're good for the month. I'm not even talking about 1 cup. A half a cup will make get 2 people through a day. I've seen it. I watched the survival show. You know what I'm saying? Jake eating coconut and getting a fucking a Ziploc bag of rice to feed 8 people. And they got to go do a massive challenge. I mean, we all know it's editing and stuff. But imagine what the Lord's going to do for us. That's why it's good to kind of get into that spirit. Right? But again, our people, they don't want to hear this because it's coming from our mouth. They want the Lord to come off his throne and speak with thunder with their foot, and so everybody's face could be to the ground so they can understand it. By then it's gonna be too damn late, Jake. You Israelites, you so-called Negroes, and everybody gonna be like me. Everybody gonna be like they got whacked. In Japan, with Fukushima. Everybody gonna be like that.
Isaiah 5 verse 19. It says that say, let him make speed and hasten his work.
Right, that's what our people say. Let make speed and hasten his work. You guys keep on talking, so what's going on? Nothing's happening. That's fine. We don't want you to believe right now. We want you to believe in your organs and family, and you're sitting in the goddamn Howard Hospital calling on Jesus Christ. That's what we want you to understand. Alright? And we want you to understand with pain. We want you to understand to the point where you know you ain't gonna get no salvation.
That's right.
Read that again from the top.
Isaiah 5 verse 19. That say, I started at verse 18. Woe unto them that draw iniquity with cords of vanity.
Right. Iniquity with cords of vanity. Go ahead.
And sin as it were with a cart rope.
Right. That means just over and over again. They're going in a circle. They're not stopping. Right? They're going to fear. They will willfully get. Go ahead.
That say, let him make speed and hasten his work.
Right. Don't you think that's what's changing? You think King James had the authority to do that? That all falls into that. Even though they're not actually. That's the question. It falls into that category. It's a lack of faith. Go ahead.
That we may see it.
Right. They see it to believe it is right. That's the see it to believe the scripture. If somebody doesn't believe in Romans 23, of course. If somebody doesn't believe this thing in Isaiah 5 and 19, you want the Lord to speed up his work? Look what happened to our people in the wilderness. When the Lord came down, people were shook. When they see that fire, you know, and that thunder and the lightnings and the voice of the Lord, women screaming probably, men falling down to their faces, elderly men, scared as hell, you know, the ground was shaking, all that stuff. The Lord wants to do that again on a huge level. Go ahead.
It says, and let the counsel of the Holy One of Israel draw nigh and come, that we may know it.
Let's go back to Proverbs. And that's the wrong question to be asking, man. I mean, when the angel showed up to Samson's parents, and when he disappeared in that fire, they were terrified, man. And that was just one angel. Go ahead.
This is Proverbs chapter 1, verse 24. Because I have called, and ye refused, I have stretched out my hand, and no man regarded.
Right, we stretched out our hand, but no man regarded. We talking to the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, but you don't care. Of course, you don't care. Again, when you're starving, that's what we want you to hear. Right? When you can't contact your parents or your friends anymore, that's when we want you to care. You know? That's when we want you to open up your Bible and look for the Jehovah Nissi scripture. We call on Jehovah Nissi. We want to be through, man. There's nothing for you. Especially not us. We're not going to be out. Go ahead, bro.
Verse 25. But ye have set at naught all my counsel, and would none of my reproof.
Yeah, you got this bitch. Sometimes, bro, and no offense, bro, but sometimes I don't even open much up.
Black China. She called herself getting a theologian degree. Now all of a sudden she's a doctor. When the hell is this bitch ever in school? All she's known for is twerking and fucking.
That's it.
Read that scripture again.
This is Proverbs chapter 1.
And this is who our women idolize.
Verse 25. But ye have set at naught all my counsel, and would none of my reproof.
Right, you want none of our reproof. Right, our women, nobody can hold our women accountable. You know? Like this chick across the street with fucking titties out, man. She's supposed to have her shit buttoned up, bro. Now, you go say that, you get your ass locked up. Because in DC, remember, they got something called a felony threat. Even if you actually spit in someone's direction, police and you can go to jail. You're asking me down there in the print scene. They always take by the National Stadium, South. You know? They take everybody. Go ahead, bro.
Verse 26. I also will laugh at your calamity.
Right, and we're gonna laugh at your calamity like this chick, Black China, and all these other women that fall behind you. You know? You want to be complete whores and then try to reform your life? No, the world's gonna laugh at you. And like the brother said, don't come to us. We want you to get away. You're useless. You know what I'm saying? Ain't nothing for you over here. Ain't nothing for you over here. You know? Especially if I already got a woman, what are you gonna do better than her? You know? And she not giving me help. I'm gonna take a risk with your crazy ass. You know what I'm saying? Hell no. And now in a sense, apply that to Babylon. I'm gonna take a risk with this crazy ass whore Babylon. Hell no. I'm gonna catch a disease. Just drop dead. Go ahead, bro.
It's Proverbs chapter 1, verse 26. I also will laugh at your calamity. I will mock when your fear cometh.
Yeah, I will mock when your fear cometh. Yeah. That's why when I do open up stuff like WhatsApp and other social media, if I'm looking at stuff that's gonna be wicked, it's at least judgment's gotta be behind it. You know? Like a nigga steals a car and then the car blows up with some shit, you know? You know what I mean? Like judgment has to be behind it, you know? A woman walking around with money ears, man. You gotta get into that. Whatever you got, bro. You go directly to Access Hotel.
Verse 27. When your fear cometh as desolation, and your destruction cometh as a whirlwind.
Right, a lot of this is going to come, but our people are celebrating this high holiday. We're trying to warn them, telling them like it's clearly off. You know, it's clearly off. Because I know damn well every single one of us out here, everybody out here, all right, when you were younger, you did at least one Easter egg hunting. Looking for that candy inside of that egg. You know, wherever the hell you was in elementary school or church, they was hiding the shits in the pews and the bathroom and all that crazy. You know that madness. You know all that crazy shit. You know, Christmas tree in the church. You know, that crazy ass shit that we were doing. Eating the hell of candy. The day after Halloween, you know, using the chair getting the first shake up for Easter Sunday. You know? Which I didn't know what the hell. I mean, I grew up in a Baptist church. I didn't know anything about a Good Friday. You know, we didn't do that growing up. But that's wicked too. Because like the elders and apostles are going into, like the scriptures say, you can't get 72 hours from Friday to Sunday morning.
Nope.
That's not 3 days. And then it said after 3 days. If he died on a Friday, that means he was supposed to rise on Sunday. Those names aren't even in the scriptures. You know? They could at least name the day Calvary Day or something like that. Be detailed about it. They could just show, that's why our people degenerate. Hey, Baba Shah, look at the word degenerate. I don't know enough. Degenerate. Keep going in our proper.
This is Proverbs chapter 1, verse 27. When your fear cometh as desolation, and your destruction cometh as a whirlwind.
Right, so in the very first book of Proverbs is alluding to that nuclear destruction. But our people wouldn't know that, and they would be like, nah, you're wrong. It doesn't say nothing about the nuclear. Well, you haven't read. You know what I'm saying? Clearly you haven't read
to link up the scriptures that all make sense, right? You don't think Solomon knew about the end of the daughter of Babylon? Of course he did. Of course he knew that the kingdoms were going to fall, the empires were going to take over, and that eventually the Lord was going to rule for eternity. Go ahead.
When
Yeah, go ahead.
This degenerate, late 15th century, having lost or suffered impairment to the qualities proper to the race or kind, to be inferior to one's ancestors, to become unlike one's race or kind.
Read it from the top. One more time.
Having lost or suffered impairment to the qualities proper to the race or kind, to be inferior to one's ancestors, to become unlike one's race or kind.
Yeah, and that's the yeah, literally degenerate, man. I mean, if there was such thing as half-breeds, they would be half-breeds, you know? Like, they're tarnishing, the Lord created this beautiful garden, like the scripture said, he planted a noble vine. But now, you got it? Yeah, read it.
This is Jeremiah chapter 2, verse 21. Yet I have planted thee a noble.
This is beautiful. This is noble to the heavenly Father. This is considered royalty to the Lord, you know? Go ahead.
Jeremiah chapter 2, verse 21. Yet I have planted thee a noble vine, holy a right seed. How then art thou turned?
Holy and right, meaning Kodash and not the one, or Kohan, which means upright. Or it might say Koman, which means upright, because that's how he made Adam. He made him perfect and upright. Go ahead.
How then art thou turned into the degenerate plant?
Right, he referred to you Negroes as degenerates. The word degenerate, and you so-called Latinos and Native Americans. He called y'all a bunch of degenerates, man. And we see it in front of our eyes. That's why a lot of you too out there in the internet world behind the keyboard, you're afraid to come out here. You're afraid some degenerates might run up on you or something like that. We're not scared, you know? For a while, it was just like 4 or 5 of them. You know, remember that part? It was only like 4 or 5 of them. You know, getting surrounded by niggas, man. And we're still here. We're not dead.
That's right.
Jake might have some bruises and shit, but we're still here. The scriptures talk about men that have hazarded their lives. You know? The Lord is dishing out rewards for putting in work. You gotta stand in the gap for the Lord to get rewarded. But hey, you're gonna get judged if you want to be a degenerate. If you want to lessen the slop. You know, it comes from a horrible reputation with the Israelites. Like again, you got a nigga woman walking by with fucking money.
I know backwards.
Yeah, she look horrible. She look horrible. Go ahead.
How then art thou turned into the degenerate plant of a strange vine unto me?
The strange vine. I was watching Green Dream, the concert, and that nigga, Lil Uzi Vert, that nigga was crazy, man. When he mooses his hair up like a fucking devil, he looks nuts. Kodak Black. That's how people look. At one point in time, it was a requirement for if you were a Negro in DC, you had to have dreads. Remember that, bro? Every single nigga in DC wanted to look like yeah, Lil Wayne got what's the other nigga that came from DC, the big nigga? Trail. Everybody wanted to look like this nigga Trail. Where is he? Is he dead? Oh, he got locked up.
I thought he locked up.
Just should have kept his ass in there. Degenerate, bro. Degenerate. That's what I'm saying. We can't. That's why, like I said, that didn't take. It made sense. You say you take money. You don't make money. They ain't making money. Yeah, when he made it and then he lost it. You know. Go ahead. Back in our property.
This is Proverbs chapter 1, verse 27. When your fear cometh as desolation, verse 28. Then shall they call upon me. Okay. This is Proverbs chapter 1, verse 27. When your fear cometh as desolation, and your destruction cometh as a whirlwind, when distress and anguish cometh upon you, then shall they call upon me, but I will not answer.
Right. Distress and anguish comes. Who are you going to call upon? deity that you call upon, you better hope that it answers you.
God.
You better hope that it answers you. We've been warning our people. You can't say that you didn't see us, right? We out here screaming. The scripture says, let's look at it. Proverbs, Isaiah 58:1, and also Jeremiah 10. You got something for me?
Just a little bit.
Okay, yeah.
So this is in generation. This Titus chapter 1 verse 16. They profess that they know the power, but in works they deny him, being abominable to disobedience.
Oh man, can you read that one more time?
Titus chapter 1 verse 16.
Going in right to what we're about to talk about.
They profess that they know the power, but in works they deny him.
Right, they confess they know the Lord. So we're gonna ask, well, if another Israelite walks by, we're gonna ask them if they celebrate Easter. They're probably gonna say no, because they always think we try to trick us, you know. You gotta be like, you gotta play sincere with chicken. This is when you get like a sincere question. Like answer.
I say with a smile.
Yeah, nah, I'm not going. You lying. You know what I'm saying? You got chocolate bunny rabbits in your backpack. Let me see your guys have to see.
Right.
You know?
Oh, man.
Where did you spend that $20 you had? Yeah, Jake buying a fucking lime green bow tie somewhere. Go ahead.
But in works they deny him.
Right, but in works they deny him. Go ahead.
Being abominable and disobedience upon to every good work and reprobate.
To every good, so it doesn't matter what they do, they're going to judge. That's why they say, oh, we're just doing this for the kids. So the kids have rule over you? That's why the scripture says children are their oppressors.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, yeah. She felt convicted as hell, bro. She had to. That's the spirit. We used to go out on Halloween. That's what camping out on Halloween. Fucking there's no point of being out here raging with them fucking raging spirits.
Come.
This nigga with a werewolf man trying to tell you. Come on, man. I am not coming back out here.
Acts 20.
So now we're going to get into it.
I'm sorry. Acts 12 and verse 1. Now about that time, Herod the king stretched forth his hands to vex certain of the church. And he killed James, the brother of John, with the sword. And because he saw it please the Jews, he proceeded further to take Peter also. Then were the days of unleavened bread. And when
there was a lot of fasting going on. Not only during the time of like Palestine, that last supper that Passover was also speeding up in time during this time of Passover. So that means it was springtime. It was the beginning of the year. Right? Which again, we're in between the Pesach and Pentecost. Right? We're in between that time period.
Verse 4.
Weeks,
And when he had apprehended him, he put him in prison and delivered him to 4 quaternions of soldiers to keep him, intending after Easter to bring him forth to the people.
Right, so here in the Bible it says it's Easter, but when you look it up, that Easter is referring to the Passover. But you ask an average Negro what Easter means, they can't even tell you what Easter means. You know? They can't give you the etymology. They can't give you the etymology of these words. But a lot of them are college students. You know, a lot of them are college students. They don't even know the meaning of words. Now, Easter, or Ishtar, goes back to the goddess Ishtar.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Good. Jeremiah.
Yeah, then you got this same tunes too. Talking about they don't believe in the Hebrew. Oh, you don't gotta go back to the Hebrew. Meanwhile, they got Hebrew days. They can't break it. When they break down that verse, they go into the Hebrew. Oh no, it means Passover. Oh, but I thought we don't have to.
Yeah, they'll do a whole video. They'll do a whole video breaking down here. They'll do an 8-hour clip talking about Easter and how it's wicked.
You know what I'm saying? Well, you can read some of those. Break some of that down in Hebrew. What you got, huh?
Romans 3:3.
Read it.
It says, "For what if some did not believe? Shall their unbelief make the faith of God without a faith? Salakia. Make the faith of God without a faith? God forbid. Yet let God be true, but every man a liar, as it is written, that thou mightest be justified in thy sayings and mightest overcome when thou art judged."
Yeah, Midas overcome. Our people are not going to overcome when they're judged because they're still engaging in Babylonian. You know, they're still engaging in the great. I did a video and I'll probably do it again. There was a quote where it says, the day you worship on, which is determined by the calendar, which you, basically the day you worship on, and who dictated that day and created that calendar, and who determined who you see, basically. So that if I'm worshiping on the second day of the 4th month, and that's how I always call it, and that means I'm worshiping the God of Israel. But if I'm worshiping and I'm keeping the Passover on Friday sundown, Saturday sundown, the same day that our wicked adversary Esau is, that means I'm worshiping the same deity that he is.
That's right.
If in your spiritual mind, you have to ask yourself, why is my high holy day the same exact day as the enemy's high holy day? And then figure out why it is that. See, these other groups, they'll tell you Easter's wicked, but they're not going to keep the Passover on January 14th that evening. Because what? January is the first month of the year, and the 14th day of evening is the Passover. The first month and the 14th day of evening, January 14th. But they're not doing it. Oh, and then also, that January 14th, it has to be a Friday every year. See how we got them? See how we got them? We asked one more time. Oh, and read Jeremiah now.
This is Jeremiah chapter 10, verse 1. Hear ye the word which the Most High Yahweh speaketh unto you, O house of Israel. Thus saith the Most High, learn not the way of the heathen.
Right, so this is for us. You know, see what I'm saying? You're not even locking them up, bro. See what I'm saying? This is the second time this shit, Trump has been over and they got stolen shit trying to sell goods. You know? Yeah, man. There's a pothole on the way home. Take it wicked, bro. Why is you leaving? Bro, not too long ago, a fucking pickup truck pulled up, and there was a whole rack of diapers and like real nice goods inside there. Bro, you see the derelicts flocking over there, you know, taking all this stuff. It's like, yo, where did you get it? They must have went to Walmart, bro. They went to that. they put up to the back of Walmart on Georgia Ave. They was out of there.
Niggas were playing Robin Hood.
Yeah, they playing Robin Hood. Playing Robin Hood, bro.
Jeremiah chapter 10, verse 2. Thus saith the Most High Yahweh, learn not the way of the heathen, and be not dismayed at the signs of heaven.
Right, now how does this play into Easter? Remember, Easter, ultimately, this goes back to Ishtar, like Sunday. Keep reading the scripture. This is gonna make a point. Go ahead.
It says, learn not the way of the heathen, and be not dismayed at the signs of heaven, for the heathen are dismayed at them.
Right, so the one way is that the heathen, our people are dismayed at them, is because they don't keep Easter, and they'll know it's Passover. On Sunday, you know? Sunday. Which again, they should be keeping it on Monday because that's the third day. But the majority of Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans, they're not taking off Monday every year. They're keeping it because they know damn well they would get called out. Easter's completely wicked. It's really inevitable. Down to it, that's Ishtar. That's what the name means in Hebrew too. That name that she was given means star. You guys know that? Read 10 and 2 one more time. Bring it out again.
This is Jeremiah chapter 10, verse 2. Thus saith the Most High, learn not the way of the heathen, and be not dismayed at the signs of heaven.
Right. Easter didn't start with the Israelites. It started with the heathens, Babylonians, the Hamites, worshiping the host of heaven. You know? And what happened was Israelites, they took those deities during the time of Germanic tribes and what they were doing with it, and they incorporated it. That's why you got the specific colors. We were going into it. Light blue, light green, light pink, light yellow, light purple. They would use those colors going way back during the time of the Anglo-Saxons. That's another reason why I said those same colors are on the flag of the transformers community. So it's all wicked, it's all tied together.
Yep.
Right? And again, those colors, they have righteous aspects to it. But what happens? The heathen take it and they get dismayed at it. They start worshiping these colors. You know, they start applying it to their rituals.
Now, just to add on, there's always a link. You gotta understand throughout history and looking at different cultures and different heathens. Now, they always had, of course, the Queen of Heaven. Like you got Ishtar going back to the Queen of Heaven. Now, the link, like the elder just put in with the LGBTQ, whatever, is because you would notice a trend. The Queen of Heaven will be introduced and will be worshipped, and then behind the Queen of Heaven will come Baphomet. And that's always been the trend. Like Baphomet doesn't come before. Like the society will be worshiping women, and then the next stage will be worshiping Baphomet. Right. So and when you put that into how we live today, you gotta understand the reason why you have that lifestyle is because the men have been weakened. Because remember, you being taken down because your men are weak. Because if the men control the household, you're not going to have that nonsense going on. If they control the country, then you're not going to have that nonsense. But to weaken the men, you got to use the women. And how do you do that spiritually is the Queen of Heaven. So the Queen of Heaven comes in, she weakens the men, and then Baphomet comes behind, and the men have no choice but to accept that. So that's the transition.
And with men who are austere and have morals and principles about them, when that stuff reaches the point of being compromised, something violent has to happen to stop it.
Right.
Women aren't accustomed to getting violent to protect morals, and ethics.
Right, absolutely. Women care about, they're social creatures that care about making sure everybody feels good. That's right. And that's a feminine energy. It's about making sure everybody feels good. Well, we already know. Just because you feel good, it doesn't mean that you're doing what's right. So the man, we are able, the Most High has made us rational, logical, and with the scriptures, we're able to make hard decisions that are going to make people feel bad, but still they're going to do the right thing. Because we rather feel bad and do the right thing than to feel good and to go off. Right?
This is Jeremiah chapter 7, verse 17. Seest thou not what they do from the cities of Judah and in the streets of Jerusalem? The children gather wood, and the fathers kindle the fire.
That's right. Because you know, the Easter, what they used to do, they would take the children and waste their blood on the altar. Yeah. So the literal human sacrifices being performed by the heathen. You know, that's how they were getting it. Then Israel started doing it, and because they thought they were getting so-called benefits, which really come from Satan, they just kept on doing it.
That's right. And the women made their dough to make cakes. Jeremiah 7:17. Seest thou not what they do in the cities of Judah and in the streets of Jerusalem?
Right. Every single church. And when we know the letters, the words in front of church, 11 a.m. service, 2 p.m. service, well, everybody's going to say Easter service starts here. You know, they got the sunrise service. You know what I'm saying? In case you don't want to stay in church all day, it becomes real early because apparently that's when the Lord rose. So it's like, all right, we got a sunrise service, you know?
And who's the majority of the people in the congregations? Women.
Yeah. Dirty ass hoes. Dirty ass hoes. Attitude. Sunday morning, bro.
pissed off. You know?
Verse 18, the children gather wood, and the fathers kindle the fire.
Both families engaged. You see, it started with the woman. You know, go ahead.
Children gather wood, and the fathers kindle the fire, and the women made their dough to make cakes to the queen of the heaven, and to pour out drink offerings unto other gods, that they may provoke men to anger.
A lot of people do that now. You know, they make them dumbass altars, you know, and they be putting fucking Dunkin' Donuts shit, you know, whatever the hell they put on their altar, they put names. I've seen Jacob put with condoms and black and knowledge. Oh, this is what my uncle loved.
Yeah.
Like, what the hell? Oh, that's only Israelites do that stuff, man. The other heathens, they do it by natural. They're just, the Lord said the idols of the nations are no idols. You know? So when Jake is doing it, the Lord really gets pissed off.
Hey, and you know too, when you get a chance, you know, you read that same chapter, right? Because there's a lot more in that chapter. When you get a chance, read it, because you will see that Jeremiah, the Lord told Jeremiah to go and rebuke the nation of Israel, and he said to rebuke the women. Well, what happens when Jeremiah went out to rebuke Israel? The men, when he started rebuking the women, the men stepped in and told Jeremiah, nah, we ain't gonna let that happen. We're gonna let our women continue to knead the dough to the Queen of Heaven, because when they do it, we receive victories. Like which the elder just said that. So Jake was out here simping like crazy. Why? Because they already had been weakened. You gotta understand what happened. It's crazy. Everybody gets angry at Adam, but niggas are doing the same thing. That's the thing that kills me. Man, if Adam, well, look, the majority of so-called Negroes, Hispanics, and Native Americans are woman worshippers. How you think that our so-called, community is destroyed? Because you're going through the same process in your household that Adam went through, and you out here complaining about Adam. That's why we're not tripping about Adam. We understand it was what it was. It had to happen, but we still got to condemn our people and get on these so-called gods, because that's the breaking of the first commandment. That's the big deal, man.
This is Ezekiel chapter 8, verse 12. Then said he unto me, Son of man, hast thou seen...
Start at 7.
Or 7, okay. This is Ezekiel chapter 8, verse 7. And he brought me to the door of the court, and when I looked, behold, a hole in the wall. Then said he unto me, Son of man, dig now in the wall. And when I had digged in the wall, behold, a door. And he said unto me, Go in, and behold the wicked abominations that they do here. So I went in and saw, and behold, every form of creeping thing.
So that's what the Lord has done with us. He's opened our eyes to the truth. So now we're looking through the matrix, like we're looking through that hole in the wall, looking at our field on the matrix.
Right.
And now this is what we thought to see the same thing that Ezekiel saw.
And the abominable beast and all the idols of the house of Israel portrayed upon the wall
Right,
round
abominable
about.
beast that goes into their wicked sacrifices. Then, of course, we also have our people. They literally eat abominable things right after the service.
Right.
Bro, I've been in the lines. I've been in the lines to get the collard greens and the fucking pork chops and whatever else they had, you know? And again, you had, who did you have serving? That nigga woman with the goatee, you know? Yeah, every Baptist church got a nigga woman with a goatee serving food after service.
If I can add, now also you have to add on this level too, the horoscope, right? Which deals with, right, which you have the one that we know, right? Which, remember when Ezekiel was talking about those abominable beasts, he's talking about idols, in which Jake has actually, besides the food, but Jake would actually mold idols into different animals and shit. Just like the Chinese, right? They got a calendar where they have on the animal calendar and shit, where they have the year of the tiger. They got the year of the rat. That type of shit. Our women do the same thing. They get heavy into those things, those zodiac signs, and they mix that with Easter and how Easter flows with Venus, the planet Venus, how that flows with Easter, and how that flows with a sign. I mean, that's idol worship.
Like the planets are sleeping with each other and shit.
That's right.
Yeah, that's crazy. That's nonsense. Praying the planets, you know?
Yeah. Venus and Mars are in a atmospheric sexual vibration.
Right.
So we supposed to be elevated by the vibration of the planet Mars and Venus.
Women, Venus, the planets are in retrograde, so that's why I'm acting like this.
Yeah.
Women will say that shit. Yeah, the stars that bitch Lauren Hill said. Where the money your bitches at? That's what Lauren Hill said. Lauren Hill said she had a store, she had a show, and she didn't go on, she didn't perform because she said the stars didn't align correctly.
Yeah.
She had thousands of people waiting on her, and this bitch didn't show up.
Oh yeah.
Janae did the same thing. She didn't go on the stage an hour and a half late because she said she was waiting for the stars to align properly. It's still trash.
It's Ezekiel chapter 8, verse 10. So I went in and saw, and behold, every form of creeping thing and abominable beast, and all the idols of the house of Israel portrayed upon the wall round about. And there stood before them 7.
See, what's supposed to be upon our walls round about? The law, statutes, and commandments.
That's right.
Those supposed to be written on our fences. That's supposed to be our hedges. But instead of that, what did they do? They put idols up on the wall. Something. What do you put up on your mantle? A trophy, a picture, something you should always look to make you feel good. Yeah. So Jacob's putting up idols. The stuff that was molded. You know?
Yeah, that's supposed to be your glory.
First Timothy 2, verse 13. For Adam was first formed, then Eve. And Adam was not deceived, but the woman being deceived was in the transgression.
Yeah, she's always the forerunner of wicked, you know? It talks about how the first Adam and then the last Adam, but hey, Eve was in that equation too.
That's right.
Eve had a major part of the downfall of man.
That's right.
It wasn't just Adam and just all the Adamite men, you know? The Adamite women too.
That's right.
Yeah, real quick. Exodus 23, verse 2. Thou shalt not follow a multitude to do evil, neither shalt thou speak in a curse to decline after many to rest judgment.
Yeah, Jake, just to be able to go on a date with a chick, which is probably the or if she says, hey, can we go to Easter Sunday is the first date, the nigga would say, yeah. If she's bad enough, but Jake would bow down and say, yeah, I'll do that. You know, I'll get dressed just so he can try and hit. He might not even hit. You know, he's just trying to get his foot in the door through wickedness.
Yeah.
You know, and that's just one way. Jake can do other crazy shit. The main topic, we talk about the main point right now, is because all of us got forced to put on that damn suit that we didn't want to wear. The damn button up and sit there. And people crying in church. I always wonder, like, why is everybody crying? You know what I'm saying? Oh, what you got, man?
2 Thessalonians 2 and 11.
Bring it out.
It says, for this cause, Yahweh by Shem Yahushua shall send them strong delusions that they should believe a lie, that they all might be damned who believe not the truth, but had pleasure in unrighteousness.
Yeah, and the delusion is that money rabbits and eggs have to do something with the Lord. So our people, they'll admit that that's wrong. But at the same time, they're still gonna go. They'll even admit that they'll break down the math to them about the 72 hours. They still won't admit to it. I mean, that's at that point. Yeah, you're delusional. Like you can't. This is reality. You just living in delusion. Like rabbits, first of all, don't even lay eggs.
Yeah.
So it's like, what is going on? Why is fertility tied into the Lord being resurrected? Right?
It's just straight up. It's just straight up rebellion. That's all. You know, but it's like yeah, it's rebellion, and that's why the Lord used the word provoking me to anger. So meaning it's an actual act of Israelites saying, you know what, I know what I'm supposed to be doing, and now F all it. I'm gonna do what I want to do, and let's see what happens.
Hey, the Lord believes that too. That's why he's gonna destroy America.
That's right.
That's why he's gonna bring this digital currency this man gonna try to put in your hand, and he's gonna destroy every one of you.
This is Ezekiel chapter 8, verse 11. And there stood before them 70 men of the ancients of the house of Israel. And in the midst of them stood Gms
That's why he said, you gave him a fight, man.
everything that's going on with our people, you think it'll be a million-man march once a month. But at this point in time,
God.
what are they doing? They got their head up the nigga woman's anus, bro. Go ahead.
The son of Shaphan, with every man his censer in his hand, and a thick cloud of incense went up. Then said he unto me, Son of man, hast thou seen what the ancients of the house of Israel do in the dark? Every man in the chambers of his imagery, for they say,
Like in the dark, those are the rituals. The rituals that they perform for Esau to get into upper echelon, you know, take you in that room with the video camera. And he's talking about what they do in these churches, man. Hey, it's the biggest stuff that goes on behind the scenes. And these pastors, they sleep with all these women. They close that door to the pastor's office.
Yeah.
With men and women.
Yeah. And also, you know, you always got to remember that the pastors are Freemasons. You know, like the Rosicrucians, you know that, Rosicrucians, but also, what's that, the Baptist Church? The Baptist Church emblem or symbol is a crown with a cross leaning, tilted inside a crown. Now, if you know, that goes back to the Rosicrucians. And the Rosicrucians is a fraction of the Freemasons. Right, and the leader, right, that's right. And the founder of the Baptist Church was a Freemason, which when you go to his tomb, right? You go to his tomb, you will see his name. His freaking name. Is this not? Is Jehovah's Witness? Oh no, so that's another one. But no, because Jehovah's Witness. So that's another one. But just sticking with the Baptists, with the Jehovah's Witness, another guy. But sticking with the Baptists, the crown and the tilted cross. That's Rosicrucian, which is a fraction of the Freemasons or Illuminati. Right? So they're Freemasons. That's right. So if you're a Freemason, what does that mean? That means that whether directly or indirectly, you are a servant of Satan. Right?
Verse 12. Then said he unto me, Son of man, hast thou seen what the ancients of the house of Israel do in the dark? Every man in the chambers of his imagery, for they say, the Most High seeth us not. The Most High hath forsaken the earth. He said also unto me, Turn thee yet again, and thou shalt see greater abominations that they do. Then he brought me to the door of the gate of the Lord's house, which was towards the north.
It's like, remember, from October, November, and December, it's a succession of wicked-ass holidays. You got Halloween, you got Thanksgiving, and then you got Tammuz on December 25th.
Yep.
So it's, like you said, it seems like a cartwheel. It's one after another after another. Then you got, where everything's dead. Then you got a lot of our people who take off and they come up to this memorial of this faggot Martin Luther King. They worship that day. Then they Saturnalia, Valentine's Day. And then Ishtar. And then there's going to be Mother's Day. You know, so it's, and then they got a whole month of June. So it's complete wickedness after wickedness. It don't stop with Jay, man.
Yeah, and if you notice too, those so-called high holy days, it's linked with the woman because it's a lot of expenses. Meaning men go broke during that season because they have to please the whims of a woman.
Yeah, they make up the majority of consumers in America. The most debt is held by these women because they're doing all the spending. You know? That's why the scripture says, she that liveth in pleasure is dead while she liveth. Right. That goes for actual women, that goes for actual Babylon, and that goes for these weak-ass niggas too, man.
That's right.
Keep going to Ezekiel. They call them
Verse 14. Then he brought me to the door of the gate of the Lord's house, which was towards the north. And behold, there sat women weeping for Tammuz.
That's why I think it was Elder Bibbins, if I'm not mistaken, he said that we had to see the wickedness so that we can appreciate the righteousness. You know? The Lord is putting us through all this so we can appreciate the righteousness. Hey, like we said, bro, and these same skies we're going to be renewing.
That's right.
The same skies. I mean, of course they're going to be brand new. Hey, but new heaven and new earth. It's still going to be called earth. You know?
That's right.
It's still going to be called the sky. It's just going to be brand new. Go ahead.
Verse 15. Then said he unto me, Hast thou seen this, O son of man? Turn thee yet again, and thou shalt see greater abominations than these. And he brought me into the inner court of the Most High's house, and behold, at the door of the temple of the Lord, between the porch and the altar, were about 25 men, with their backs toward the temple of the Most High, and their faces towards the east, and they worshiped the sun towards the east.
See that? So it's like they tried to, even back then, they did something what Constantine did. They took what the Lord's customs were and brought in, you know, wicked ass deities and customs with them. And the Lord said, it's like, look, our people, the hell with Easter, they going all the way into the Kemetic community. He celebrate, what is it, Kwanzaa? Kwanzaa, you got, there's all type, I don't know, Ma'at, we're talking about Ma'at, too long with Ma'at. Oh, we have Assalamu alaikum was up here. They celebrate Ramadan. We still in Ramadan or whatever right now.
The hot
They just
song.
started, you know what I'm saying? So Jake will do all this stuff. And that's just as bad as Easter, if not worse. Because again, like we said, Queen of Heaven and Baal. That's it. Oh, and what's the other dude, Baal, which is the God of the community. That's another Baphomet. That's another reason why people follow a multitude to do evil is because it's gods. They're peer pressure. You know? Right? People fold when their loved ones make them feel certain. That's why Yahushua warned us. Yahushua warned us. If you love your father or your mother more than me, because he knew he was going to be tempted by ones that we really, really care about to do something wrong.
That's why the scripture speaks about when your son or your daughter commit an abominable sin, as the parent, you gotta be the first one. Now, when you killing them to put them to death, you basically killing your emotions, and establishing spirituality, right? Spirituality and logic and rationale over your emotions. So you can't be righteous unless you kill your emotions. Now, what do I mean? Because we all have emotions, so it's not, when I say killing of emotions, it's not like we supposed to be emotionless. It's just when your emotions starts to get out of the way of judgment, then you gotta kill it. And women,
mortify your members.
Right, and women, or not just women, the feminine essence, because we use of women, but remember it's the feminine essence, because scripture says the woman is the weaker vessel. She's weak because she is the feminine essence. And the minute the masculine essence moves as the feminine essence, he becomes weak and could be under peer pressure from these gods, these deities.
Start thinking irrational. Next thing you know, you on your knees, getting a piece of bread put in your mouth by a white dude. You know?
Yeah, man.
You got Jake still doing that kind of shit. I never understood that.
Verse 17, it says, then he said unto me,
That's the spooky shit. You know? You go to sit in a room, you don't know who's on the other side. You professing everything.
Con.
He confessed to a man, he a bigger scumbag than you are.
Yeah, you confessing to him, this nigga's scrolling through kitty porn on his phone. You know? That's how they get down, bro. Go ahead.
verse 17, then he said unto me, hast thou seen this, O son of man? Is it a light thing to the house of Judah that they commit the abominations which they commit here?
Right, it's a light thing to them. We don't care. We out here every week. We're a pillar of righteousness.
That's right.
Through the power and spirit of Yahweh Shah, we are able to say that. We are a pillar of righteousness. All right? The scripture talks about how I will search Jerusalem with candles. We are those candles.
That's right. That's
you know
right.
What I'm saying? And our people, when it says, I will punish them and settle upon their knees, yo, if you are comfortable, you're comfortable with going and sitting down and believing that the Lord, his name don't matter, what they look like don't matter, all right? And the day that he rose don't matter, and you fall behind the woman, the Lord ain't with you. Right? The Lord is not dealing with you. That's why we don't care about the majority of our people. We just play around with you so we get edified, but for the most part, just fucking die, man.
That's right.
We don't care.
Right.
We just want the worst things to happen to you, like imaginable.
That's right.
Go ahead.
So they have filled the land with violence and have returned the brokenness to anger. And lo, they put the branch to their nose. Therefore will I also...
Right, that's the, Yashamari's doing that all the time. That's that smoking, man. Put the branch to their nose. That's the fucking backwards, man. And all the other stuff that Jake be using to smoke, bro.
Jake be inhaling smoking. Jake has inhale smoke in many different ways throughout history.
Yep.
In many different ways. But we know inhaling smoke, it stimulates your mind, right? As we know, you the cheaper. But we also know it destroys your organs, right? But Jake was looking for that stimulation. But when you stimulate it, what happens? Right, when you stimulate it, what happens? Your pineal gland is more susceptible to receive what? Transmission from spirits. That's right. You open up, you open it, you authorize, you like, I'm here, what y'all talking about? You know what I'm saying? And trust me, that's a dangerous place to be.
That's how everything's all out here, you know? And you're not supposed to be smoking that stuff, but we all used to be there, you know? She's smoking like a damn chimney. You know? Let's go
Now you got Wisdom of Solomon 14 verse 8. But that which is made with hands is cursed, as well it as he that made it.
right. Gregorian calendar, Easter Sunday, Good Friday, it's all made with hands. It's cursed. Go ahead.
As he that made it.
Chocolate bunny rabbit, it's cursed. There's nothing wrong with eating chocolate. You know? Just say, you out here purposely eating it and thinking about the Lord while you're doing it, that's wrong. Go ahead.
He, because he made it, and it, because being corruptible, it was called God. For the ungodly and his ungodliness are both alike hateful unto God. For that which is made shall be punished together with him that made it.
Those said these dwell not temples made with hands. These temples are cursed. They wicked. Inside of all these temples where these Negroes live, it's nothing but white images, man.
Right.
This ain't no orthodox. This ain't no truth in there. They got these hymnals and these Bibles and read from all these different. This is a motivational speeches every week. Like shit in there. I remember that. Like I'm falling asleep while the Lord is talking. Something's wrong, bro.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man.
You know what I'm saying?
God.
Hey,
I remember
I
that.
told you when I was coming up, while the Lord is supposed to be talking, he's talking to a woman who's supposed to be a pastor. She got triple D's, you know what I'm
Got some
saying?
things out.
And I'm sitting there like, damn, man, like, and I'm full on puberty. I'm not trying to be graphic. But I used to tell, for real, I used to tell my mother was like, you know, I used to sit in the front, you know, in the children's sat. But then my mother noticed all of a sudden I want to sit in the back. Because the pastor, you know, puberty was kicking in, the pastor talking about Jesus, and I'm like, something's wrong. You go in the back. You know what I'm saying? It's real, man. So,
Oh, God.
that's how you know that spirit ain't real.
Right.
Verse 11. Therefore, even upon the idols of the Gentiles, there should be a visitation. Because in the creature of God, they are become an abomination and stumbling blocks to the souls of men. And it's
just like a movie. They got hate to preach everywhere, bro. Tatted here. So this guy tatted, you know, in their car, in the bathroom, in the kitchen.
They got the chain.
They got the good luck candles in the shop.
Hey, bro, you know what's even crazier?
Bro, I was watching a video earlier. This white dude visited Venezuela by himself, bald dude, and he found a shop where they sell candles. Yeah. And some of the actual candles that they deem as good luck were criminals that helped out the community. So people were buying candles that look like criminals and pray to those for good luck.
Yeah, the cartel
Yeah,
bosses,
let's
yeah.
go.
They gave us heroes down there. Real.
Yeah, the cartel was, I think it was Pablo Escobar, Hitman. I think they had a documentary about him on Russia Today a while back. And he showed how he would actually go and pray after murdering cats, right? For Pablo Escobar, he would go and pray to, Guadalupe. Now he would pray to Santa Muerta, then go and do the hitman thing, and then come back to Guadalupe and Jesucristo. And then they asked him, well, why are you praying to Guadalupe and Jesucristo? He said, I'm praying for the souls that I'm taking. Dude, like in his mind, his God is allowing him to do wickedness and come back and ask for forgiveness. So you're looking at that mind, that's what happens when you are, that's one of the things that happen when you're idol worshiping. And the scripture is so bad, the Lord says, Ephraim, right, representing the northern tribe, he said they're given into idols. All right? Easily susceptible to worshiping idols.
Back in Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 14 at the end of verse 11. It says, an abomination and stumbling block to the souls of men, and a snare.
You got, just like we have the Roman Catholic Church, you got all these denominations.
Yep.
You got Satan and all his denominations.
That's right.
You got Satan, the Queen of Heaven, Baphomet, all.
That's right.
All these other things. Krishna.
Yep.
And what's the bitch who sticks your tongue out? What's the
Cali.
Cali.
Yeah, but which Cali is really
all ties in different denominations.
Any top feminine deity of all those nations, they might look different or be called a different name, but they all just the Queen of Heaven.
Oh, like the bitch with the fist.
Yeah. Anat. That's the Canaanite goddess.
That's another one,
Right. That's the goddess of power to the people, feminism. Strong and independent woman. But that falls under the Queen of Heaven.
And a snare to the feet of the unwise. For the devising of idols was the beginning of spiritual fornication, and the invention of them the corruption of life. For neither were there. For neither.
I remember having an old job. I remember having a conversation with this Edomite, and we were talking about Easter. He was saying how he basically said that the Lord ate rabbit during the Passover. That's how it's tied into it. I remember that. South African people.
Verse 13.
Yeah, they believe that he spoke Aramaic and he ate rabbit and he ate regular game, anything. And I was like, where's this? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Where's the word rabbit in the Bible? First of all, show me the word rabbit.
For neither were they from the beginning, neither shall they be forever. For by the vain glory of men they entered into the world, and therefore shall they come shortly to an end. For a father afflicted with untimely mourning.
Anglo-Saxons, they got taken down right with their idols.
That's right.
Constantine, he got taken down right with his idols.
That's right.
And Esau, you won't get taken down with your idols. Why
That's
you want
right.
all the Israelites who are helping you fund it? You know, because the only reason why these holidays are still going on and are prevalent is Esau, or our people are funding it.
That's right. Absolutely.
I mean, Esau can fund it himself, but what's the point if he already knows how to control the herd?
Right.
You know? Go ahead.
Verse 15. For a father afflicted with untimely mourning, when he hath made an image of his child, soon taken away, now honored him as a god, which was in a dead man, and delivered to those that were under him ceremonies and sacrifices. Thus, in process.
People do that. You know, they do t-shirts.
Yeah.
The guys, everybody got the t-shirt.
They put wings on the nigga.
Yeah, put wings on.
And that nigga was a grimy gully.
Well, he got wings with 245.
Yeah.
You know?
Yo, like what example?
He
What's
got
that
wings
nigga?
and he's standing on the block.
Good example. Good example. A nigga that's worship, well, he's no longer amongst us. Still, his name rings powerfully in Chicago, King Von.
Oh,
They put wings on the dude. Now, if you know the real King Von, this nigga, bro, you saw it, right?
minutes.
You have videos of this nigga walking in and just ending people's lives.
Hey,
King Von was a murderer for will.
He got 10 bodies?
Yeah, he was a murderer for will. A murderer. He just never got caught, never got to him, but he was putting in work. But now, but you go to the comment boards, a bunch of niggas say, "Oh, Von, we miss you, King Von, long live Von." And they put wings on him.
Verse 16. Thus, in process of time, an ungodly custom.
Yeah, he deserved it. He's dead, right?
Yeah. That was a good one too. That was a good death. I drink wine to that. That was good.
It says, thus in process of time, an ungodly custom grown strong.
Right, an ungodly custom grown strong. Our people were not worshiping East and West Africa. I mean, they probably was worshiping other deities, but it wasn't as strong as it is right now. You know what I'm saying? As much as our people try to get back to their culture and they got all these unks and everything, they still are going to buy Christmas presents. You know? They're going to celebrate Kwanzaa and Christmas. Double negative. Go ahead.
Was kept as a law, and graven images were worshipped by the commandments of kings.
Oh, like in the time of Maximus. Everybody had to be converted. Everybody was made Greek.
Mm-hmm.
You couldn't even say, profess that you were a Jew, like the scripture says. Right. So yeah, a lot of our people, they were calling themselves Athenians, Greeks, and Colossians. You know, they weren't identifying themselves as Israelites anymore because they got beat out of them. We talk about infants getting destroyed, temple being ransacked. You know, and we had a whole rededication process. Okay, now 100 years later, of course, a lot of our people are still going to be calling themselves Greeks, and Colossians, and Romans.
And not only that, brother. I mean, we just got to be honest, man. Some niggas wanted that.
Oh yeah.
You know, some of us we got beat into it. But we got to be honest, man. A lot of niggas were happy to be Greeks and live weights naked.
Spartacus.
Yeah, bro.
Spartacus. A lot of them niggas wanted to be.
They wanted to be in that lifestyle. You see how they praise that Spartacus, that gluttony and shit? It's a lifestyle. So, yeah, Jake being wicked a lot of times, because we blame Esau and the nations for our wickedness, some, seduction. But we have to be honest, Jake didn't need the nations to be wicked. Jake has known how to be wicked without the help of the nations. All right?
Verse 17. Whom men could not honor in present, because they dwelt so long, they took the counterfeit of his visage from far, and made an express image of a king whom they honored, to the end that by this their forwardness they might flatter him that was absent as if he were present. Also the singular diligence of the artificer did help to set forward the ignorant to more superstition.
Dress it up all nice, make it all persuasive. Just like Esau's gonna do it. The same way that he makes these straws nice and fluffy. Look, our people gonna feel that same dopamine in their brain when they see the RFID on the table. Yeah. They're gonna be happy as hell that, oh shit, everything collapsed. Now it's a Corona. No, yeah, I'm down with Fed now.
Yeah, that's gonna be the number one, because the RFID microchip is gonna rise up. The Corona is gonna rise up to be the number one idol on the planet Earth before the return of Yahweh. The number one idol on the planet Earth is going to be the RFID microchip.
Yeah, that's what's going to happen. Make you a league with the beast, conform to his image.
Right.
We can drop that. Go ahead, let's read that. Let's end this here.
This is Isaiah chapter 1, verse 11. For what purpose is the multitude of your sacrifices unto me, saith the Most High?
Right, multitude of your sacrifices. Our people even got this custom where you don't wear white before, after. What type of shit is that? You know what I'm saying? That make me want to wear it on purpose. Around somebody. So you can say something. Go ahead, bro.
This is Isaiah chapter 1, verse 11. To what purpose is the multitude of your sacrifices unto me, saith the Most High? I am full of the burnt offering of rams and the fat of fatted beasts, and I delight not in the blood of bullocks, or of lambs, or of he-goats. When you come to appear before me, who has required this at your hand?
Right. Was it the Gregorian calendar, or was it Yahweh Shemel Shai's calendar? Who told you to show up? Was it the Lord?
Where did Yahushua, who the world calls Jesus Christ, tell you to worship him when he was risen? On a Sunday. Who required it? See, there are them colors on that bag. Those are the same colors. Remember we read that. We did that video. Those same colors were used way back in ancient times for this high holy day that they so-called worship. And it's the same flag that you see flying around on people's houses. Yeah. It's a Transformers flag. Go ahead.
Verse 12. When you come to appear before me, who hath required this at your hand to tread my courts? Bring no more vain oblations. Incense is an abomination unto me. The new moons and Sabbaths, the calling of assemblies, I cannot away with. It is iniquity, even a solemn meeting.
Yeah, that's good. That's a straight curse out from Yahweh because this is the solemn assembly that the Most High accepts.
That's right.
This is the sacrifice, the blood of the goats and the lamb, all that peace offerings. This is what the Most High deems as acceptable or reasonable, logical.
Right.
All right? To his power and spirit, Yahweh Shah.
Just one thing. Just saying, and also the reason why we're going into the spirit, like Eric was saying, the importance of it is because the lifestyle, the God that you worship affect your lifestyle. Jake would do all that idol worship, right? Easter and all that. But then their lives are shambles. If the God that you worship is truly with you, why is your life in shambles? Why is our so-called community in shambles? That means you worship the wrong God.
Hey, let's put Yahakadum. We're going to praise to the right God.
Yahweh Ba'Shem, Yahushua Ba'Shem, Kakudash.
All right, Yahweh, as always, is the name of the Heavenly Father. Yah means he, Hawa means to be or is. Yahushua, again, Yah is he. Yahushua means salvation or deliverance, right? Most High, the Son, Kakudash, comes and guides us in all understanding, so on to the elect. And of course, as always, double honors to the real elders and senseis of Yahshua Allah, and his great wisdom.
Shalom. Come.
Might be time to get a smaller one.
No, you're trying. No, that's perfect. I'm gonna be mindful of bending.
Oh yeah, it's called good. The water.